Hi, hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Ooh, okay, please, if you can hear me, just let me know wherever you're joining us from. If you can hear me, let me know. Okay, thank you, Phoebe. Phoebe says, I can hear you. Welcome to Level Up 2025. You're welcome, everyone. We're just going to give it a few minutes and then we'll get started. Okay, just give it a minute. All right. Welcome, everyone, once again. Welcome to Level Up 2025. And I'm sure we're going to have a very, very swell time. We have two amazing people properly who understand these things, who understand how to set goals and how to achieve goals. This is their specialty, this is what they do. Um, First off, I just want to explain the rationale behind Level Up 2025. I just want to explain it so you understand what gave birth to this 2025 Level Up 2025 event. So first off, um, I I was doing my new year, trying to do the end of the year wrap up and everything, just trying to understand how to move on to the next things. And I realized that what happens most times is that in first week of January, people come in with enough energy, with enough enthusiasm. They're looking forward to the new season, right? To the new year. That's what they come in. They are very expectant. They want to do stuff. And then they come in with so much energy. First week goes well, second week goes well. By the third week, they're already losing energy, they're losing momentum. And then what happens is that by the time they're entering February, most of the things that they've had in mind, they've lose energy. So that was the rationale behind Level Up 2025. I've always been doing goal setting classes, goal setting master classes. I've been doing it for a while. I think the first time I did it was in 2021, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, 2021. I did it in 2022, did it in 2023. I think in 2024, I didn't do goal setting, but I did something else in 2024 towards the end of the year. But now this year, we decided that I'm going to bring in people who walk the talk, people who this is what they do as a specialty. So that's the reason for this Level Up 2025 class. It's not just an irregular class. We have been completed some things that we know that's going to see you into 2020, like way into 2025. So we're talking about goal setting. Yes, it's good to set goals, but after setting goals, what happens? We have to talk about accountability. How do you stay accountable to everything you're doing? How do you make sure that you track those goals and you make those goals a reality? So that's why we have Adetola here. Adetola is, I'll say a bit about her, but that'll be like a bit later. And I had to call her Datola because this is her specialty, accountability. And then we also have Precious Ezema who will be coming up too. She, I've not known her for so long, but from what I know about her, she's a go getter. She knows how to set goals, how to get them, not just for herself but also for her community. So I know that that's what she does. I've seen some of her works. She's very amazing. So I decided to bring these two people in so that they can share from their wealth of experience. So these are people that are walking the talk. They do this for a living. They do this. This is their specialty, right? My specialty is marketing, like some of you know here. I specialize in marketing, but now I decided that these people know what they are doing. They understand these things on a way deeper level than I do. So I decided to bring them on board. So thank you, Adetola, for coming on board. Thank you, Precious, for coming on board. And I'm sure we're going to have a very, very swell time. So if you know anyone that needs this event, so we're doing goal setting, productivity, and accountability. Anyone that you know that needs to set better goals for 2025, anyone you know that needs to stay accountable in 2025, or anyone you know that needs to be more productive in 2025, you can share the link to them. You can just tap on the share button. I posted the link in the groups. I've sent it to your emails. Um, we have over we have over 50 people who registered for this. On my email, we have 40 people. I'm just looking at this now. We have over 40 people that registered via email. We have some people in the groups on WhatsApp, on Telegram too. So if you know anyone that needs this, just send them the link, and we're going to have a swell, very, very swell time here. Okay. So while we wait for others to join us, I will just do an introduction for about our first speaker. So this person is um, I've been following. Funny enough, I've been following her work for quite a while. I'm not. I'm not sure she knows, but I'm following her work for quite a while on different channels, especially on WhatsApp. Where I see what she does on LinkedIn also. So I've been seeing what she's been doing. I've been seeing how far she's been pushing what she's been doing. And when I was thinking about when I was thinking about accountability, she was the person who came to mind because I've seen her do this on a high level, not just for her clients, but also people that are around her. So I've seen her do stuff in accountability for quite a while. So our first speaker is Ayodele Adetola. And Adetola is a certified performance management professional. She's fully certified, so she knows how to take your performance level to another, to a whole different, to take a performance level to another game. She's also dedicated to helping individuals bridge the gap between intentions and achievements. So you have intentions, but how do you make your intentions become reality? That's her specialty. That's what she does. She's also the lead coach of Goes with Tola. Goes with Tola is the brand that she manages. She's the lead coach there, and she has worked with clients across the globe, from Nigeria, across Africa, across the world. She's worked with different clients across the globe, and she mostly equips them to overcome procrastination, to stay laser focused on their goals and achieve lasting success. So it's not just should we push for 5 days, should we push for 30 days. She has a system that keeps people accountable throughout the year, for months throughout the year. She has developed a solid system for that. Aditula is also the founder of Follow Through Tribe, which is her tribe. She's the founder of Follow Through Tribe, and she's also a vibrant community. She also has a vibrant community that is designed to effectively balance the demanding 9 to 5 job. So, what the Follow Through Tribe is that it's a community where she helps people who are 9 to 5 professionals balance their personal ambitions as well as their jobs. So it's easy to it's easy to forget your dreams while you have a 9 to 5. So what Adetola does, what her specialty is that she helps people balance their 9 to 5 with their ambitions and their dreams while avoiding burnout. So without further ado, I want to bring Adetola to this stage while she moves us through the processes, and I'm sure we're going to have a very short time. So please prepare your questions, prepare everything you have for her, and I'm sure she'll be ready to give it everything. Adetola, please welcome to the stage. Please, I want your emojis in the comment section as she comes on stage. Hi, Adetola. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, Peter.
It's good to see you, Adetola. You're welcome.
Great to see you too. Thank you so much for this opportunity. All right, how's everyone doing? First of all, I trust you all had very good days today.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Okay, great stuff. All right, as Peter has said, it's one thing to come into the year with so much energy and just the desire to do this, the desire to do that, and the desire to change the world, the desire to do a lot of things. And there's just this possibility that you can lose yourself in between all of it. You know how it is when you just set New Year resolutions and you're going, oh, I want to do this New Year, new me. I don't know if you have any New Year, new me person here, but really, there's just this hype that comes with the beginning of the year. And it's just a calendar year, yes, but there's just this hype. Oh, we just moved from 2024 into 2025. Oh, we're going into a new year. I'm going to get older in the new year, and all of that stuff, and we begin to think and say, oh, I would like to do this particular thing in the new year, I would like to do that particular thing in the new year. And for the first few weeks, you just keep going that, okay, these are the things I want to do. You rugged it, you do the ones you can, and you just tell yourself, oh, this has to be done. But somehow along the line, you just find yourself that you just find out that you would forget about the things that you told yourself you wanted to do, and it's usually not intentional. It's basically just you being say, it's basically just life happening. Life just happens, and you just get distracted. Maybe you got a new job, maybe you got a couple more responsibilities than you used to have, and you just get engrossed in all of that, and you just forget that there was something that you had told yourself that you wanted to do. Occasionally it will come to mind that, oh, this thing I wanted to do, but because of this other one I'm doing, I'm busy now. So okay, let's say by March, I should be able to get back to it. March comes again, you probably even forgot in March, and whenever you remember again, you just go, I still have some time in the year by July, and that cycle just keeps going on and on and on towards the end of the year. And then when it gets to December, you start thinking, oh, it's another year again. This year is about coming to Years were coming to an end, and then we're going into another year again. And just look at me. I still haven't done this thing. Then you just pat yourself on the back and say, oh, life happens. What's most important is that I'm alive. It is people that are alive that can set goals and achieve them. The new year is another year to go again. And this just keeps happening year in, year out. And you see, aside the fact that there is the right way to set goals, which our other speaker will be talking about. There's also the part that even when you set your goals the right way, you need to set a system of accountability to ensure that the goals that you set do not just end up as goals in and of themselves, but that they become reality. You know, when you have goals, it's just a picture of what you want to happen in future. It's usually not something that you can see in your life at the present time. It's usually a vision. Oh, this particular thing is what I'm desirous of, and I would like to see this thing become a reality by so time, between now and this deadline. And then you start working towards it. So what would help you move from that phase when you say, oh, this is what I want to see happen in my life, to a phase where you can now sit and say, yes, I'm now seeing this thing happen in my life. I thought of it, I envisioned it, and look at the thing. I just got it. What can help you move from that point A to point B is a system of accountability. If you don't have a system of accountability, life will always happen. Even when you have a system of accountability, life will happen. But the difference there is that accountability would help you stay on track. Accountability would help you stay on track. There used to be a time in my life where I would set goals, and they just never happen. You know, I would just really wish that this thing will happen, and I work on it for a while, and I'll forget about it, and I will start working on another one, and then I'll forget about it. What made the difference for me, or what changed the entire cycle for me, was the point where I learned the proper way to set goals. When I learned the proper way to set goals, and I also got to discover that it's not just enough to set goals, I needed to be accountable to somebody. It changed the entire thing for me. And when it changed it for me, I felt like, oh, this is what many people are missing out on. This is what many people do not know. If people can have this knowledge that I just have, my God, it's going to make the difference for them too. And that was how the entire desire for helping people stay accountable to their goals began. I did not even know that there was a thing called accountability coaching all along. I didn't know about that. I just knew that accountability was a thing, but I didn't know that there was an accountability coaching industry. I made my research and all of that. So okay, this is how it works. I got a couple of courses, got some certifications. Okay, let's try this thing out and actually see if this is going to work. So I reached out to people. I put it on my socials that, oh, if you're having trouble with seeing your goals through from start to finish, I could actually help you. I learned this. Let's just try it and see how it works. It was free. Yeah, so we did like a 30-day thing, and boy, I saw that it worked. And then I was like, oh, so this is it. So it's not just that, oh, you just get to set goals, but you know how it is at work. I don't know if you have full-time jobs, but even if you don't have full-time jobs, if you at any time had to report to somebody in a higher authority than you know how it is when the person will give you a task and tell you, oh, you have to turn this thing in by so time. Okay, you have to finish this thing up within the next 24 hours. I would like to get feedback on it by tomorrow. And by the end of the day, the person is already asking you, what's the update? Hope it's going smoothly. Remember that you have to turn it in by tomorrow. By tomorrow, even before it gets to the deadline, the person is already asking you, hope I'm still getting this by this deadline. What happens with that? You would almost usually get it done. Like, there is usually no excuse. Even if you are going to have an excuse, you would have at least done 80 to 90% or thereabouts. And that's because somebody is constantly following up with you. Your boss is constantly following up with you at work. But when it comes to your personal goals, there's the possibility that you just keep giving yourself excuses. It's easy for you to say, I will do it tomorrow. It's easy for you to procrastinate when there is nobody checking on you, which is why we're going to be talking about the power of accountability. We're going to be talking about the power of accountability. So I have here that accountability is just a system of checks and balances. You must have heard these checks and balances 10 before. That just comes and say, okay, we're checking. Goal one, what has been done with goal one? Oh yeah, check. Goal two, what has been done with goal two? Oh yeah, check. Okay, goal three, what has been done with goal three? Oh, we goal three, half check. Okay, what is the balance on goal three that has a half check? X, Y, Z is remaining. Do you see? So accountability is just a system of checks and balances that helps you stay focused on your priorities. One, secondly, helps you complete task on time. And thirdly, helps you stay aligned with the desired outcome that you want for yourself or for your life. Do you see? So when you have a system of accountability, this system of check and balances, it will ensure that you remain focused on the things that are important to you. See, at different phases of your life, you will have different priorities, right? Let's say you work, for example. You have to go to work, you have family, and then you have personal stuff that you have to do. All of these things, this is just like a very minute, this could be a very minute part of your life. There could be a number of other things that that you're involved in, but this is just on the very basic level. So you have work, you have responsibilities at work, and of course your responsibilities at work during working hours should be your priorities. Yes, but then what happens after work? What happens at every other time? When you have personal goals and you're just saddled with a lot of many other responsibilities, you now have to create a structure that would help you achieve your personal goals. And when you now create this structure, you need a system of accountability that will help ensure that you can stay focused on your priorities, complete task on time, and then stay aligned with the desired outcomes that you have. Remember, I said earlier that goal setting is just visioning. You're visioning that, oh, this is what I want in by this time. This is what I want to see in my life by this time of my life. Do you get? So that's about accountability and being a system of checks and balances. Now, when I discovered this research, you can see on the screen, when I discovered these statistics, I was blown away. Literally, my mind was blown away. Like, really? So, if you are 95, you're likely to achieve your goals when you're 95% more likely to achieve your goals when you have somebody that checks in with you. I was blown away. So this means that it's not just that you should set goal. When somebody is checking in on you and then you can track your progress, you are measuring progress, you know how far you have gone, you are 95% more likely to achieve that goal. Do you see why accountability is just so important? It's just so important. This research was made by the American Society of Training and Development. And my God, when I discovered this, let's leave it at this and go ahead first. Now, let's talk about the different kinds of accountability. There's the self accountability, and then there is the external accountability. Now, as the name implies, self accountability basically is you holding yourself accountable, you setting a system and structure around your life, around your goals that would ensure that you stay accountable to your goals. It's basically you saying, oh, this is my goal. Say, I want to read at least one book every month. So, how am I going to track my progress to ensure that I read one book every month? First of all, I've broken down the books by their chapters and pages. So let's say it's a 200-page book and I want to read that entire 200 pages in that month. So it means that I have to read at least 50 chapters per week since we have 4 weeks in a month. And then I have to read at least 10 pages, 7 to 10 pages per day. Let's say I want to read 5 times a week. I can say I want to do 10 pages every day. So knowing that this is what I have to do every day and I want to be self accountable, what I then have to do is at the end of every day or at the end of every week, I track my progress. How? I've already told myself. Meanwhile, when you set goals, it's important that you don't just tell yourself, you actually write it down. You have to really write it down and break it down. When you set goals and you now say, oh, this book I have to read, like, let's say 10 chapters a day, if you want to read just 5 times or 5 days in the week, at the end of every day you can probably just set a reminder on your phone that says, oh, have you read 10 chapters? Have you read 10 pages of XYZ book? Have you read 10 pages of Atomic Habits? Say it's Atomic Habits or something. Have you read 10 pages of The Psychology of Money? Do you see what that would do for you is that it would help you remember that, oh, I have this goal and I have to go read this book. And the reminder does not even have to be one. It can be a couple, it could be two or three, right? Based on the structure that you have set. You could have said, oh, I would like to read the book in the mornings when I'm most productive, or no, I have a couple of free time in the afternoon or towards the evening. I could just read it in the evening. Just set the reminder at a time that works perfectly for you. And after you have that daily reminders, then you could have weekly tracking. So you could track it on a weekly basis. At the end of the week, you ought to have read at least 50 pages to be able to complete 200 pages by the end of the month. So what you could do is at the end of every Friday, you could also still set a reminder for this. I track my progress on a weekly basis. I have a reminder on Fridays that says, oh, track progress for the week. So what I usually do is at the beginning of the week, I have my weekly priorities. Okay, what are the things that I want to work on for this week? And then I just draft everything down. It is from my weekly priorities that I set my daily to-do list. Do you get? And at the end of the week, I now check, okay, these things I was supposed to do at the beginning of the week, did I complete them at the end of the week? If no, why? What can I make better by the following week? This is how to be self accountable. It is you by yourself. You're setting a system to ensure that you don't just say, I want to read a book and you leave it at that, but you actually read the book and you just see that go through to the end from start to finish. Now, for external accountability, it is you, but it's basically you having somebody else hold you accountable. So this one now is not just you setting a system to keep yourself accountable, but you are going to have someone else hold you accountable. And this person could be a peer, could be a mentor, or even a coach. Now let me tell you about the peculiarities amongst all three. If you have a peer as a system of accountability, let's say you have an accountability partner as a friend, what happens with that is it usually works, yes, but there's the possibility that life will happen and the two of you will forget that you are accountability partners if there is no defined check-in system. So and apart from having a defined check-in system, it's important that you define the relationship too. You may be telling yourself that, oh, this person is my accountability partner, and the person will not even know that he or she is your accountability partner. The person may just feel that, oh, this person just likes to get my opinion on things, or this person just likes to share his or her goals with me. Do you see? So if you want an accountability partnership with a friend, it's important that that relationship is defined. Accountability is a relationship, just like every other form of relationship, right? So you want to make sure that that relationship is defined so that it is not going to be unrequited. You get, yeah, the person has to know that, oh, I'm your accountability partner, and it's best that you are also the person's accountability partner, just so that it does not become a parasitic relationship, right? So that's about accountability, external accountability with a peer. Now, for external accountability with a mentor, this one now is quite different. When you have a pair as your accountability partner, you are both going to be checking on one another. This is with the assumption that you have defined the relationship, established clear boundaries, and all of that. With a mentor, it is not going to be the case that the mentor will be reaching out to you, checking up on you, back to back, following up with you. For mentors that do that, you should be grateful for that. But it's not every mentor that would have the liberty or have that time to constantly check in on you as much as you would want. So it is not for you to carry yourself and be reporting yourself to the person that, oh, this thing you told me to do, or this thing I told you I was going to do, this is how far I've gone with it. So you could set up a system and say, oh, at the end of every week, or maybe bi-weekly, or at the end of every month, depending on the person's availability, I'm going to reach out to my mentor and let my mentor know my progress. Do you see? Now, when you have an external accountability coaching with a coach, this is a different ball game. With this one now, it's not going to be like the external accountability with a friend or with a mentor, because if you are going to pay somebody to hold you accountable, you are literally going to become the person's responsibility. You're going to become the person's responsibility. The person has to look after you. the person will be the one chasing after you. Do you see? So that's just how the three levels of external accountability works. And when you want to decide which one works for you, let me give you one key. The key is this: by yourself. Sit yourself down and ask yourself, all my life that I've been saying, I will do XYZ. These are my goals. These are my goals. I want to do it by myself. Have you been able to set a structured system of self accountability that it worked for you? Because I didn't make any research to this, but I like to think that based on the conversations and based on the conversations and a level of relationships and the clients I've worked with over time, I think 8 out of every 10 persons would work better, would thrive better with external accountability than self accountability, because it's just so easy for you to just slip into default mode when nobody's checking on you. It's just so easy for you to slip into procrastination when nobody's checking on you. It's so easy for you to spend tons of hours doom scrolling on Instagram when you don't have to report to anybody. You know how it is at work. I gave this instance earlier when your boss is checking up on you constantly, but you know that there are some other tasks that you have to do at work that they don't really follow up on the tasks that much. Anytime you do it, they're fine with it. Those tasks, do you usually prioritize them? You don't. You do it whenever you want to, and sometimes if you barely even do it. Do you see? So you have to understand what works best for you. If you don't know, if at this phase of your life you don't know whether or not self accountability or external accountability is what works for you, I'd advise that you take like a 1 month to test it. So you could try and say, okay, let me try self accountability and see. Maybe you're somebody that you just like to keep things private. You just like to, be on your own, be by yourself and all. Try to set a system of self accountability and set the calendar reminders, just the system that would a system that would ensure that you are always remembering. When your goals are out of sight, they get out of mind. So it's one thing that you write them down and put them in places that you can see. It's another thing that you set a system that would ensure that you continually remember that this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm supposed to be working on. So try it for a month. Try it for 1 month and see, oh, I set a system for this, but did I end up snoozing the alarms? Did I end up dismissing the reminders? Did I end up not doing anything at all? Or was I able to work for the first week and then by the second week I lost it? If yes, then external accountability is what you need. But if you find out that, oh, it did work for me, then you can continue with self accountability. But believe me, at some point, you would still need a touch of external accountability, even if it's not going to be consistently. Do you see? All right, so let's talk about how you can level up in 2025 with accountability. So the thing is, from all of these many things I've been saying, yeah, if you want to level up in this year, you have to start with accountability. Could be self accountability, could be external accountability. And the thing with leveling up is this: you know what it means to level up? It means that you know how it is when you're climbing the stairs. You take one foot right after the next one, and you just keep going on and on, one foot in front of the other, and just on and on. So when you have to level up, it means that you're moving from one stage to a higher one, right? And now, how do you move from a lower level to a higher level? So this is with the assumption that, oh, you want to move, you just have to level up. Let's not even start making assumptions. You have to level up. You want to move from this phase or this stage where you currently are to a higher phase, to a higher stage in this year 2025. The first thing there is that you cannot apply the same strategies that you applied last year this year with respect to your goals now. So the goals that you set last year. Meanwhile, I want to assume that you actually took out time to review the previous year. If you didn't, this is your cue to do that after this meeting. Could be tomorrow. Sit down and assess 2024. The goals that you set for yourself, were you able to achieve them? If no, why? If yes, how far? Did you complete them to the end? Was it like 100% achievement? Or it was 20 or 30 or 50%? If it was 20, what happened? At what point did you lose it? If it was 100%, what did you do? Because if you got it up to 100%, it means that the strategies you employ, they worked for you. And if it works, don't touch it. to be a time that I write codes. At one time that I really thought I was interested in web design and development and all of this stuff. So then our mantra in our class then is, if your code is working, don't touch it. Don't change everything. Because the moment you try to change something, you will control spoil. So yeah, this is just to say, if the systems that you used last year with respect to your goals worked for you, please don't touch it in 2025. If it's working, keep using it. But if it did not work, then you know that you need to re-strategize. And in re-strategizing, if you look through it and see that accountability is not there, this is the reminder that you need, that you should go and add accountability to your strategy. You really have to start with accountability. And here's why. First, it's going to keep you focused, because life will always happen. Life would always happen. You see, even when you set goals, it's just, goal setting just gives you a direction. It just provides a map to that destination that you have in mind. But on your way to that destination, a couple of things that you did not even plan will happen. A couple of things would usually happen that would have to make you restructure some things, that would have to make you tweak some things and all of that. But when you have a system of accountability, you would always be focused on chasing after that goal, even when life happens. You would always be focused on it. It will help you stay committed to the process, even when life happens. Okay, life has happened. Oh yeah, let's dust our clothes, let's dust ourselves, and go again. Okay, life has happened. It's easy for you to just fold your hands and cross your legs when life happens and just say, oh, I'm tired and exhausted, I don't want to go again. This is not me saying don't rest when you need to rest, so please do rest. But this is also me saying, after resting, one next. And I feel like we glorify rest a lot. I feel like we glorify rest and taking breaks a lot. For me, I believe that when somebody has to rest, or when a body is in a place of rest, it means that that body has been acting or has been in motion for a while. A body that has not been in motion does not deserve to rest. A body that has not been working does not deserve to rest. So if you are resting, make sure that you are resting. The rest is deserved. That's the summary of this matter. If you have to rest, make sure that it's deserved, right? And as long as you're working, either works deserves to rest. But if you're not working, if you're not doing the things that you're supposed to do, what are you now taking a break from? Taking a break from taking a break? Do you want to take a break from taking a break? It may not look like you're taking a break, but really, you just took a pause on your goals and you have not been chasing after them. So do you want to take a break from that process of the pause that you already taken? You paused your goals and then you're saying, oh, I deserve some rest, I deserve a break. What break do you need exactly? But then I understand that there are times that life just happens and a couple of many other things will be going on in your life at the same time, that you would have to put a hold on different things. It works. At different phases of your life, you'd have different priorities. So it's even totally okay to set a goal around that current phase of your life. Do you see? Now, another thing that accountability would help you do to level up in the new year is that it would help you to continually be consistent. As it keeps you focused, it will help you to be consistent. You'll be able to develop the discipline to show up every day, even on days when you don't feel like showing up. And the days that you do not feel like showing up will be like 9 out of 10 times. You would not, most of the time, you will not feel like showing up. The way this thing works, many times the goals that we have, or the goals that we desire for our lives, they are usually not things that we can start seeing the results immediately. They are not goals that if we work on them today, we'll see result tomorrow. Or if we work on them this week, we'll see result next week. Say you want to lose weight, I mean you want to gain weight. If you start working out today, you will not start seeing it tomorrow. You have to give it some time before before it begins to compound. And many times, because it looks like you're not seeing progress, you will not want to stay consistent. You will not feel like continuing. But if you have a system of accountability, it will help ensure that you are consistent with that which you are doing. Another thing accountability will do for you to help you level up is that it would provide clarity. How would it provide clarity? When you're constantly tracking your progress, you will know what is working, you will know what is not working, you will know what you need to improve on, and you will know how to keep going. Do you see? Another thing it would do is that it would help you reduce procrastination, especially when you have external accountability and you are somebody who likes being true to your word. You come and you tell the person, oh, I didn't finish this thing today, oh, I'll go tomorrow, and then you come again, oh, this is what happened. You start feeling bad, and why, before this person will start thinking that I'm a very unserious person, let me go and do it. Another thing to do for you is that it will help you get better with maximizing your time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but the difference between you and those successful people, quote and unquote, that you look up to, is that they manage their time, or they maximize their time better than you do. Do you see? So if you have a system of accountability, and that system of accountability has been able to keep you on track, has been able to keep you consistent, it is going to improve your ability to maximize your time. And another thing it will do for you is that it would help you break bad habits. The terrible habit of saying, oh, I will go tomorrow, procrastinating, or just unproductive patterns that you have noticed. It's going to help you break those bad habits, and it will also increase your chances of success. It will also increase your chances of success. Now, lastly, let's quickly talk about how you can build an accountability system. When you have to build an accountability system, the first thing that you need to do is define your goals. How do you want to build an accountability system when you don't know the exact thing that you want to be doing? And your goals have has to be defined. They have to be clear. They have to be specific, measurable. They have to be achievable. They have to be relevant and time bound. And then you create a plan. These goals that I have, how am I going to achieve them? The example I gave earlier of wanting to read a book is a plan. I said, oh, I want to read this book this month. The first thing I want to do in creating my plan is checking how many pages does this book have, or if I would like to read in chapters. I prefer doing pages than chapters, because chapters, the chapters usually have unequal pages, but whatever works for you is perfect. So for me, I could say how many pages are in this book. Okay, the book has 200 pages. Okay, to complete 200 pages in a month, I'll break it down like this. I'll break it down into weeks, then I'll break it down into days. That's the plan. And with that, what I just have to be doing day in, day out is just the same thing. Read 10 pages, read 10 pages, read 10 pages, read 10 pages, complete 50 pages the week, complete 50 pages in a week. And at the end of the month, I'm good to go. That's with an example of wanting to read a book. If and that's actually a repetitive action plan. So we have action plans that are repetitive, and then we have action plans that are progressive. A repetitive action plan is one that you have to be doing the same thing in and out, in and out. But for one that is progressive, you are moving from point A to point B to point C. Let's say you want to write a book. Let's say you want to write a book, maybe you want to publish an ebook or something. What you're going to your action plan with this is going to be progressive. You move from the stage where you make your research, decide on the topic, your target audience, and all of that. Then you move to the stage where you get to outline your chapters, and then you move to the stage where you start writing drafts, and move to the stage where you have to proofread and all of that before you start designing. You see that is progressive. You're moving from one stage to the next stage. Next thing you need to do is find an accountability coach, partner, or group. Very important. Okay, who am I going to be accountable to? Is it going to be a coach? Am I going to have an accountability partner? Or do I want to be accountable in a community? Do you see? Then the next thing is that you create a check-in schedule. This is very important. Accountability is incomplete without a schedule for check-in, because you people will forget that you are supposed to be having an accountability relationship if there is no check-in schedule. What with the check-in schedule, what you can now do is compare progress or track progress. Oh, at the beginning of the week, I said I have to read 50 pages per week. Okay. At the end of the week, how many pages did I read? Oh, I read 35 pages. So what happened? I'm supposed to cover up 15 more pages. Why was I unable to, cover up all 50 pages? Oh, I had a couple of responsibilities this week that they were beyond my regular routine. I had additional responsibilities. Okay. If it's on a Friday that I'm making that review, for example, and I had decided that I wanted to work Monday through Friday, I can try to use Saturday to cover up. Do you see? Next is to track your progress. During the check-in schedule, progress tracking has to be part of what you will discuss during the check-in schedule. And then lastly, you have to celebrate your wins and learn from your challenges. I think one reason why we one reason why it looks as though you are not making progress is because you don't track your progress. Many times, you know how it is when you have a child, or maybe a nephew, niece, a child around you, and you're seeing the child day in, day out, week in, week out, month and years. You're literally watching the child grow, but because you're seeing the child every day, you'll not really notice that this child is growing. But then if somebody now comes to your place that has not seen the child for say like 5 years or thereabout, and then the person goes say, this child has grown so big. You know how it was when you were younger, and all of these uncles and aunts that they will come to the house every year that they come to the house, they always come and say, you have grown so big now. You're now a big boy. You're now a big girl. Every year that they come, they're always saying that, and then you'll be feeling like, why are they saying this? Am I not the same way I was last year? That is because they have not seen you in a space of a year, and getting to see you again, they are literally seeing visible growth that has compounded over time. But because people around you are seeing you every day, they are not seeing that growth. When you track your progress, it does the same thing. You are able to see how much you have grown. If I'm just reading the book, and okay, that one is still easy. I could just check the number of pages on the book. Let's say maybe with the book that I'm writing, with the book I want to write, for example, if I'm just still trying to make my research or trying to write my first draft and all that, and I'm beginning to feel like, hi, I'm taking too long, I'm staying too long on this, I'm not even making progress. If I'm able to look at it and say, oh, this is where I started, I've actually gone far. I started with this and this, and look at it, if I did this thing in like a month or less, it's just me in my head thinking that I've not made progress. Do you see? And then you can celebrate your wins and learn from challenges. It's important that you celebrate wins. And when you celebrate wins, you don't necessarily have to buy yourself a car. You don't necessarily have to buy yourself a new house or something. You can even celebrate win by giving yourself a reward of something as little as maybe buying ice cream. Or even if you don't want to spend money, it could be watching movies. Or you could, if you find out that one of your distraction is social media, you could use that as a reward for yourself, that, oh, when I complete my daily task, I am going to spend some time on WhatsApp, or I'm going to spend some time on Instagram only when I complete my task for the day. And then you have to learn from challenges. Very, very important. Because if you don't learn from challenges, believe me, you get stuck again, and you probably repeat the same mistake and forgot that, oh, this was why I got you in the first place. And then I have this. So, thing is, this formula you can see on your screen is a formula that has never failed. Tested, tried, trusted, proven, and any other word you can think of. It is not enough to set goals. You have to set a system of accountability. How are you going to stay accountable to your goals? How are you going to stay accountable to your goals? And it is till you have a system of accountability that you can achieve the goals. It's till you have a system of accountability that you can attain success. It's till you have a system of accountability. I think it was James Clear in Atomic Habits that said, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. What does it mean for you to fall to the level of your systems? And the funny thing is, when we say system, it's not just grammar. It's literally the daily routine that you have. It's literally the habits that you have. Do you see the habits that you have? The habits that are already ingrained in you and are a part of you. This is what usually determines if you are going to achieve your goals or not. And if accountability is not a part of that system, believe me, there's no way you can rise to the level of those goals that you have for yourself. There's no way you can level up in 2025. So this is me saying to you today, the 25th day of the month of January, that for you to level up this year, it is very important that you set a system of accountability. You have to be accountable. Self accountability or external accountability, whichever one works best for you. You have to make sure that you are accountable. Okay, so this is the point where I say, we're done for now. And we're just going to take questions. So I'm just going to hand over back to Peter. I hope that you got value for your time. So we're just quickly going to take questions, and the moderator will take it up from here. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Adetola. Thank you so much. Please, I need in the comment sections to just say how grateful you are for Adetola's session. Thank you so much for teaching us about accountability. Thank you so much. I really like my notes. My notes here have been like I've been writing. My notes are like very filled up. Thank you so much. First off, most times we just say accountability. We don't know how to. We don't usually differentiate between self accountability and external accountability. Usually, we just feel like it's the same accountability. Everything is the same thing. That is something like that I caught here. Please, if you have questions, drop them in the comments in the comment section. And I have my own questions. So while I'm asking my questions, I can be picking the questions from here just before the end of this session. So, Aditya, I have a question, right? So usually accountability is usually seen as a very difficult habit to build, right? And usually people just say like accountability is hard, it's hard, it's hard, it's hard. What is the best way to start? For instance, and here we have a lot of people here um, who are we have people in Nigeria, from Russia, who are like tuning into this, and people who will still watch this later. So I want to ask, and this for these people, especially people in Russia, there's usually people in Russia usually stay like alone. They stay on their own because of the way Russia is built, right? And they usually don't have people to reach out to. So most times they practice self accountability most of the time. They try to, in my opinion. So I know you said we should test it and see which one works and then know how to switch. But for someone who has never really thought about accountability and wants to start practicing, what is the best way to start practicing self accountability? What do you think is the first way to start? The best way to start practicing self
Okay, are you
accountability?
asking about self accountability? Yes.
Yes, yes, the best way to start practicing self accountability.
Okay, first, I would like to say a bit about external accountability before I get to answer this part. Because you mentioned
Okay.
something about staying alone and, not having people around. So, even
Mm-hmm.
with external accountability, you do not necessarily have to have the person around your space or in your space. The clients I work with, it's all virtual. My accountability partners, I have two of them. I don't even remember the last time we saw one on one. Okay, fine. I have one in the same state as I'm in. The other one is in a faraway state. Do you see? But then we can hop on calls, we can reach out and text each other, we can just have chats and all of that. So if you are considering accountability, if you're considering external accountability, you don't necessarily have to look around you. You can look beyond you. If you have people that you have met on the virtual space, or even people that ordinarily would have been around you, but for one reason or the other are not around you, you can keep up online. That's why we have technology. Now, for someone looking to start practicing self accountability, as I said earlier, the best way to start is, of course, after you have broken your goals down and then you know what you're supposed to do. And in breaking your goals down, it's important that you not just, break it down into months and weeks. It's important that you have a structure for on how you are going to be following up with the goals. So if you're going to be practicing self accountability, the first thing you need to do is from your goal breakdown at the beginning of every week or whichever day of the week works best for you, just ensure that you do it weekly. Just have priorities for that week or goals for the week or milestones for the week. What are the things that I need to do in this week? And even as you're setting priorities for the week, you could, set it does not necessarily have to revolve only around your personal goals, because I understand that you of course have different other areas of your life. Do you get? So it could be personal goals, it could be professional goals. Oh, at work also have to do this at work. Oh, with this business I also have to do this with this business, and all of that stuff. So set that structure first, and oh, this week these are the things I have to focus on. And then it's important that you work with to-dos. I know that a lot of person, there's just this whole thing with, oh, to-do list, they don't work and they are too rigid and all of that. See, believe me, what to-do list just do for you is that it helps you stay focused on what you're supposed to be working on. But if you are that person that you set to-do list and you forget about the to-do list that you set, what you have to do is to place it in front of you when you're working. Out of sight is out of mind. Do you get? Aside from placing it in front of you when you're working, another thing you can do is set different reminders at intervals. Oh, check your to-do list, check your to-do list, right? And then you can check and say, okay, I've done this, and this, and that, and all of that. So with self accountability, set a structure on how you're going to be assessing that you have completed the priorities for the week. Preferably at the end of the week, you could, set your milestones at the beginning of the week, and then at the end of the week, you get to analyze your week. Oh, these things that I was supposed to do, the things I was supposed to do this week, did I do them? If yes, how did they go? If no, what hindered me? Okay, how can I do better in the next week? So this is a perfect way to practice or begin self accountability. And if you would need to if you need to get external accountability, like I just mentioned, you don't have to just look around you physically in your physical space. Technology is helping us a lot, so you could just. It is with technology that we are having this call. I did not need to. We did. Peter did not have to gather all of us in a physical room. Do you get? So you can literally do the same thing. I hope I've been able
All
to
right.
answer the question.
Yes, you have. You have. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We also have a couple of questions in the comment section, so let's quickly run through them. So, Joe Boy Israel says, could you share the system or methods you use as a check-in system? What system or
Okay.
methods do you use as a check-in system? Yeah.
All right. So for me, I practice both self accountability and external accountability. I have two accountability partners.
Mhm.
You see,
You have
this
to
question
yourself.
just you said what?
So you yourself, you have to queen of accountability. You have two partners yourself.
I I yes I do. See, it's very funny how that at the time in my life, I felt like okay, since this is what I do for people, I should not need the help. But then I started drowning. I was always showing up for everybody, but not showing up for myself. It was at that point that I realized that oh, this service I'm offering to people, I also need the service myself. Do you see? So the truth is that everybody needs accountability. That's the truth. So for me, I have a system of I practice both self accountability and external accountability. Now, if you're asking about system or methods, they are just the same thing I highlighted in the question that I just answered with the entire setting weekly milestones and priority. Okay, the thing is this: you have your goals. Yeah, let's say you have your goals for 2025, and then you've broken them down. Oh, by the first half of the year, I should have done this. By the second half, done this. Then you carry the one for the first half and break it further down into, say, two parts. First 3 months. Oh, by the first quarter, I should have done this. By the second quarter, I should have also done this. And then you carry the one for the first quarter and break it down into months. Oh, by January, I should have done this. By February and by March, I should have done this. Then for January, you carry and you now break the milestone for January down into weekly priorities. Do you see? So then you can now say, okay, these are the things I have to work on every week. If it's going to be repetitive or if it's going to be progressive, or I have to move from this to this to this to this and to all of that. Then as you set your weekly priorities at the end of the week, ensure that you are tracking your progress. Okay, these are the things I was supposed to do at the beginning. Did I do them? You know the way it is with corporate organization that at the end of every year there's this, I can't seem to remember what it's called, but there's just this annual check that happens where they get to check their reports, check their. There's a corporate term for this thing that I'm not remembering right now, but that term, check their reports, check this and check all of that to ensure that oh, the goals that they had for the year, they were able to achieve them. So it's just the same thing, but with you, you're not waiting till the end of the year because 1 year is a long time. One whole year is a long time to check your progress or to track your progress. So I would advise that you do it on a weekly basis. If you can even do daily, that's fine. It will get tiring, though, believe me. It will get tiring. The routine will get really tiring, but it's something that is worth doing. It's something that is worth doing.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We also have another question. I believe, Joe, I believe that answered your question. So checking systems, it's the thing is, it's not people feel like this thing is a one time and is done thing. It's something you have to review over and over and over again. Um, the The success you're looking for are in the boring things and the things you don't enjoy so much. You have to do this thing repetitively over and over again. Thank you so much, Adetola. We also have another question here. It says, how do you measure growth when your expectations do not meet reality in the pursuance of goals? How do you measure growth when your expectations do not meet reality in the pursuance of goals? I don't know if this question makes sense to you, Adetola.
Okay, I'll divide the question into two and answer one at a time. First, how do
Okay.
you measure growth? The way you measure growth is the same thing that I just said. It is basically checking, oh, where was I at the beginning of the week? Where am I now at the end of the week? And now I don't exactly understand the context for growth here. Because if this had a context, it would have been easier to say, okay, for this particular context, this is how you can measure growth. So if you can just add that, that would be great. But if not, when you're measuring growth, what you're just doing is checking, oh, at the beginning of this week, what did I plan to do with this? At the end of the week, was I able to do that? Or at the beginning of the month, what did I plan to do with this? And at the end of the month, was I able to do that? Now, when your expectations do not meet reality, it happens. And the thing with one thing I've discovered over time with setting goals and working with different clients is this: there's usually that possibility to either overestimate or underestimate the time needed to achieve a particular goal, and you would usually not know till you start working on it. There was this one time that I needed to do something. I think I wanted to design a quick landing page, and I just told myself that, oh, this thing in one sitting, I'll just do it in an hour and I'm done. But I spent like 5 hours on it. And that was because I underestimated the time I needed to work on that. And it happens a lot when you set goals and you just tell yourself that, oh, this thing that I want to work on, in 2 months, I should be done with it. And many times, when we set some, many times for some people, when we set goals, they don't consider their current engagement and responsibilities. You work from 9 to 5. You have million and one other responsibilities. But then when you're setting goals, you're telling yourself that, okay, every day I'll give this thing 5 hours. Where will the 5 hours come from when you know that you have to work 9 to 5? And let's say it's a physical job, for example. So it means you have to prepare, you have to commute and go to work. So that takes like your entire morning. It takes like, let's say, from 7, right? And then you have to you leave work by 5, and then you have to commute back home before you get settled. That's like, let's say, 7 till 7. So 7 in the morning till like 7 in the evening, you are just busy with work and commuting. And then you said you want to give 5 hours every day to a particular goal. Now, where is that 5 hours going to come out from? How are you going to be consistent with that? Because of course you have to rest at least 3 to 5 hours. Some people do 6, some people do 7, some people do 8, some people sleep 10 hours, some people sleep 12 hours, which I don't understand. But this particular webinar is not about your sleep routine, so I'm not even just going to talk about that. But the point I'm trying to make is, we usually either overestimate or underestimate the time needed to achieve our goals sometimes, which is why there are times when our expectations will not meet reality, because we'll be believing that, oh, I should have done this thing in 2 months. But by the time 2 months come and you have not done that, you'll not be thinking that, oh, I'm not making progress. Oh, I don't know how to do this thing. Oh, this, oh, that. But the truth is, not at all times though. I would like to add that there are times that you did not underestimate. Okay, now let me quickly add this. When you set goals too, there are times that some of the things are within your control, and some of the things are beyond your control. So for times when some of the factors are within your control, it's your sole responsibility. If you get it done, it's on you. If you don't get it done, it's still on you. So with the things that are within your control, if you followed through with the breakdown that you had set, if you follow through with the routine consistently, day in, day out, and at the end of the duration, it still looks as though your expectations did not meet reality, then that is because you underestimated the time needed to get that done. Because come on, look at the track record. You were consistent with it. But if it's the case that you were not consistent with it, then we know first it's a you problem. But for situations where some of the factors in achieving that goal, they are beyond your control, then you now have to start making research. Okay, what can I do about this one? How can this one work for me to be able to actually achieve this goal? I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, yes, yes. I think you did justice to that. So most times, the thing is, sometimes just be patient with yourself. Patient with yourself. As long as you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, just be patient with yourself. It will eventually work out. Just keep on pushing, keep on moving, and to eventually work out. Sometimes, like Aditola said, review your strategies. If you've done something for like a while and it's looking like nothing's happening, you might need to change strategies, right? If it's not working, dump it and find something else. But give yourself time. It takes time for good things to happen. Give yourself time. Just as long as you are constantly moving and you're always reviewing what's happening, just give yourself time. Thank you so much, Aditola. I really appreciate it. Okay, I hope this question was well answered for you. I hope it was. And Aditola, before I let you go, we have one more question here. This is from, sorry, one second. This question is from Anita here. She says, how do you know who are the best people to reach out for accountability? How do you know who are the best people to reach out for accountability?
Okay, so first is this. I understand that we have different kinds of people in our life. Yeah. So what I would advise is this. The kind of goal that truth is, you don't necessarily have to have one person as an accountability partner for all your goals. It does not have to be just that one person. So what you can do is this. Look at the goal that you have set, the goals that you have set, and look around your life and check which persons you have in your circle that are thriving in the areas that you have set to go. Even if they are not thriving, maybe they are still trying to grow. They may not have blown yet or something. They may not have been popular, right? If they are even still trying to grow, as long as they are in line with that, it's easy for somebody who is doing something similar to what you are doing to keep you accountable in that particular area. And that because when you face challenges, you can both talk about it. You can actually hold a conversation on that challenge. You can both find a resolution together. But when the person knows nothing, the person does not know jack about what you are trying to do, the person can only say, okay, it is well. I hope it works out for you. Do you see? So, in determining the best person to reach out to for accountability, first, you don't necessarily need one person to have as an accountability partner on all your goals, right? Of course, the person can be accountable. You can be accountable to the person for more than one goal, two or three goals, if the person thrives in that area. So, what you are looking out for is one, is this person doing something similar? If I have a problem with this, even if not 100%, can we brainstorm together? Do you see? And when you are having this accountability relationship too, just ensure that you are also providing value for the person, especially when it's an accountability partner. Even with your mentor too, you still have to provide value. With a coach now, you know you're paying the person. With a partner, ensure that you're also providing the same kind of value, and then you're following up with the person. Oh, what are you doing with this and all of that stuff? So that's about that. And another thing, let me quickly add. Another thing is that you need to be sure that this person is somebody that does the things that they want to do. Is somebody that actually gets to do things. Is somebody that would walk the talk and not just talk the talk. Do you get? Because we have many people that they just know how to talk. They just know how to talk. But to take the action is the problem. They know how to be loud on social media, but taking the action is the problem. Because if you become an accountability partner, or if you get somebody that does not really is not so big about actions but big about words, it would most likely rub off on you. That energy would most likely rub off on you. So you want to go after somebody that is a go-getter. Ensure that the person is a go-getter, and then the person can even push you to do more. And if the person is even doing better than you in that field, that would be great, because you can at least see that, oh, this person is doing better, and you can get to learn from the person's experiences. So yeah, I hope I was able to answer your question, Anita. Do we have any other question, Peter?
Thank you so much, Aditola. Anita, I hope the question was well answered. Sorry, we do not have, I think that's all the questions we have for now. And Thank you so much, Adetola. And Adetola, I want you to say something about. I know you run an accountability coaching program. Could you just briefly say something briefly about Goes with Tola as well as the Follow Through Tribe?
Okay, thank you, Peter. So,
All right.
what we do at Goals with Tola, as the name implies, is that we hold you accountable. We help you achieve your goals. So you share your goals and we help you see it through to the end from the start. So we do all of the break down the goal together. We do all of the check-ins together. You see all of the structures that I just talked about, we do all of that together. We do the check-in, we do the follow-up, we do the progress tracking. You track your progress on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. We brainstorm to resolve challenges together, just to ensure that that particular thing that you want to do, you get to do it, and it does not just remain as a dream or a wish, but you get to see it become a reality. Do you get? So that's what we do at Goals with Tola. And then I have the Follow Through Tribe. The Follow Through Tribe is a community of full-time professionals who have a hard time balancing their full-time jobs and their personal goals. So for a long time, how it happened, how it started was this. I got tired of hearing full-time workers or professionals say that they do not have time for their personal goals because of work. Or if you just ask somebody, oh, this thing that you even told me you wanted to do, how's it going? Oh, work has been so tiring. It's been very busy at work. I've not been able. And then it makes me wonder, do you work 24 hours a day? You really don't work 24 hours a day. It actually first started with me. It started with me and how that I used to tell myself that it was work that made me busy and I wasn't able to do the things I was supposed to do for a very long time, till I now started dropping off the many responsibilities I had. I dropped off a couple of volunteer roles. I dropped off a couple of remote jobs I was doing. And then I realized that nothing still changed even after dropping them off. So it was a me problem and not necessarily because of the job. Because if I had even done 20 minutes or 30 minutes consistently every day, I would still make progress. You see, the thing with goal setting and getting to achieve them, it's not a matter of the duration that you spend on that you spend working on the goals. Of course, duration matters because it will give you speed. But if you don't have the long hours that you are desirous of, you can start with small hours or small time. You can start with 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, and do it consistently. It's in the consistency that you begin to compound. Do you see? It's in the consistency that you begin to compound and you begin to see results at the end of the entire thing. So with goals with Ola, we help you move from the point where you from ideas to execution. We help you move from ideas to execution. We basically just help you bring your vision to life, and it just does not remain as a desire. It just does not remain as a wish in your heart. You see it come to life. So that's what we do through the accountability coaching programs. Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time here. I had a good
Thank you
time.
so
Thank you,
much.
Peter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adetola. Thank you so much. Please, round of applause in the comment section for Adetola. Thank you so much, Adetola, for everything. We truly, truly appreciate you. Truly, truly appreciate you. Also, Adetola, sorry, before you go, just last question. Where can we reach you when we want to reach you? Your social media handle, how do we follow you? Where can we reach you?
Okay, I'm on all. Okay, don't let me say all. On Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. You find me as Adetola Ayodele. But then on Instagram and Twitter, there's an underscore after the name,
Okay.
right? So on LinkedIn, you could just type Adetola Ayodele and you get that. On
Okay.
Facebook, same thing. On Instagram and Twitter, Adetola Ayodele, then an underscore after the name.
Okay, okay. So you can search out on all social media platforms on with Adetola Ayodele. Thank you so much, ma'am. Really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you,
I hear people
Peter.
saying thank you so much for sharing in the chat sessions. Everyone is so grateful for you. Okay, says I'm glad I joined in. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. All right. Um, so right now, right about now, we'll be having our second speaker come on board. Um, sorry, one second. We'll be having our second speaker come on board. and I will just briefly introduce her before she comes on board. And Precious, when I was talking with Precious about this event, she was saying that she wasn't like, it was surprising to her how much her CV had changed. It was surprising to her how much her CV had changed, and she was just trying to um like, she's grown so much in the past few years. She's done so much that it even reflects on what she's on her, like, usually for we humans, we like to keep like achievements, right? But what she's done is like she's done so much that she can even keep track of the things that she's done in the past few years. So Precious Ezema is a dynamic community builder as well as a marketing strategist, and she has a passion for fostering growth and innovation in the Web3 ecosystem. So she has extensive experience managing global communities. She has spearheaded initiatives, empowered builders, and enhanced engagement and drive adoption within blockchain projects. She's worked with Google, Cello Blockchain, Analytics Finance, as well as Web3 ladies. So in this organization, she's usually an ambassador for programs. She's an ambassador for programs. She's organized hackathons, facilitated technical onboardings for developers and for a lot of other people. And her deep understanding of decentralized governance, fundraising strategies, and ecosystem growth positions her as a valuable advocate for blockchain innovation. So Precious is currently based in London. She also brings a unique blend of creativity and leadership and technical acumen to every project she undertakes. So for every project she does, she has a way of bringing different things together to give it her best. So she's proficient at productivity, proficient at as well as in goal setting. And we are just here to hear from her. We're here to enjoy from her wealth of knowledge in goal setting as well as productivity. So Precious, I don't know if you're around. Are you with us, Precious? So she's just an amazing personality. Um, I think when I was trying to, Precious is here. Precious is here. Thank you so much, Precious, for joining us. I'm just going to add her on stage. Before I do, I want you to put a round of applause for her. She comes on stage. Precious Ezema is here. Welcome, Precious. Welcome, Precious.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. I can
Okay.
hear you. Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining. How many people are on this call? I don't know. I can't see. I can't see like the attendance list of who has joined in or who is not here. But
So
anyway,
on YouTube, we have 4 people watching on YouTube and other social media
okay.
platforms. I don't know how many people on those
All right.
platforms.
This is like
Yeah.
1 hour in, and I would still like to say thank you, Peter, for organizing this. There's several goal setting sessions happening everywhere. Yesterday we
Yeah.
had one, right, with Web3 leaders. Today we are having another one. Tomorrow there's another speaking engagement too, still on goal setting. Next week, it's like it's everywhere, right? And it's important that people get to know about this thing in different communities, in different groups, so that you take the lessons and you apply it to your life. Now, Aditola has done a good work, and she sort of has made my job easy. So if you were taking a lot of notes, you would just apply it to your life and it works so good for you, right? She has done very good justice to helping you be accountable. She has touched on setting goals. I mean, I listened through everything. She has given you the formula, basically everything. So I'll just try to talk through it, share my experiences, give you some tools so that we're not, boring you. This already, I'm still like 1 hour live, so we've done like 1 hour in already. So let's just try to like speak to each other. What I like to do is to have conversations. I do have a slide that I used yesterday from what Three Ladies. It's a little bit detailed. Some people have been asking of it, so we could just go through it together while we also talk. First and foremost, if you're in the chat, say hello, say something, tell us where you're joining from. You can also introduce yourself. Let me know what it is that you do. Just have a very good, clear audience of who is in chat. Hello, Elijah. Good to meet you. Hope you are good. Okay, I can see like clapping hands from Elijah. We can't. Okay, yeah. Hello, this is me here. Hi. Can you see me now? I'm trying to turn off my camera from time to time, but you can see me. So this is me.
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
Good to
today
see you.
has been like a lot. All right, so let's get into it, right? How to set goals. What in fact, why should you even set goals in the first place? It's not just too much talk, right? Why should you set goals? Can't you just have your ideas in your head and at the end of the year you be what you shall be something? Do you understand? At the end of the year you shall achieve what you want to achieve. And sometimes you might not even achieve anything, but nothing is going to happen to you, right? Why is it important that I ask you to set goals or even write down anything? You can just imagine it. You can just have a vision board and you manifest it. This is they call manifestation. You just manifest and it becomes a reality. And yes, manifestation is good. Confessions, daily confessionals is good. But I want to tell you something that if you like manifest from now to tomorrow, manifest from now, say, oh, I want to be Elon Musk. I want to be Elon Musk. I want to be Elon Musk. I declare it. I'm going to be Elon Musk. I'm going to be Trump. I'm going to be the president of America. I keep manifesting it. Nothing's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to be the president of America, but you don't do any step. You never join a party, but you want to be president, right? Nothing is going to happen. You're not going to be anything. You will be who you are. You'll be Sam from today to tomorrow. So just confessing, manifesting, and hoping, it's not going to give you any tangible results. Hope is not a plan. Manifestation is not a plan. And hoping, manifesting is not going to help you achieve your goals in any shape or form. So here are some reasons why you should, you know, try as much as possible to, set goals. And I will go ahead to start presenting my screen now. All right. I just hope that's it. Okay, from my computer. Sorry, I'm trying to use StreamYard for the first time. So, wow. I thought I could share my entire screen. Okay, one sec. My slide is on Canva, and it means that I have to add my slide into StreamYard before I can present it. So I'm just
Okay.
going to download it off, download the PDF so that I could at least try to talk through it and show you guys a couple of things. One sec.
Okay. If you click on present, it doesn't come on, right?
It does come on. So it
Okay.
comes on. Okay, so share screen. Yeah. Okay, so I can share my screen now. Thank you. More like
Okay.
it.
Okay. So just hold on. Let me add your screen to the stage. 1 second.
All right.
Perfect. Okay, perfect.
All right. So he has given you a very good introduction. My name is Precious, driving community engagement, been in the tech space for 5 years. I am on the UK Global Tech Talent Visa, and it all boils down to years of goal setting, building consistency for me to be able to even get the visa in the first place. So this is why you need to do things that are very relevant to your career, to your profession, and that includes setting the right goals for 2025. Before we go into why goals are important, I want you to imagine where you are or how you probably ended 2024. What are the things that you saw progress in? What are the things that you want to change by the end of 2025, right? Now envision yourself in December, on December 31st. What are the things that you want to see? Oh, I did this, right? This was added to me. And then write them down. You understand? You can manifest. This is the manifestation phase. Write them down, envision it. So some people say you should have a vision board, a very graphic memory of what you want to see achieve. Some people will say, oh, I want to get married this year. I want to walk 10 steps. I want to be more prayerful with God. There's just this thing that everybody wants to do or achieve at the end of the year. But what you need to know is that it's good to manifest. You can see, you can envision, you could be anything, but you need to take actual steps. And Without those steps, you're not able to like reach your manifestation. Without actual putting in the work, just as I like Aditola said, you'll not be able to like get the results that you desire at the end of the day. So let's talk about why we should actually set goals, right? Why goal setting is important. So without clear goals, life is dynamic. That's the first thing. So life is not static, it's ever changing. From the time you were born till now, you have learned how to work, you've learned how to crawl. There was sometimes you were always crying, and sometimes you had to go to secondary school. One time you had to go to university, sometimes you had to leave home. So life is changing, right? And as you keep growing older, you discover that there's a lot of things that is calling for your attention at every point in time. If it's not to do the next masters, is to maybe get into a relationship, or there's one thing. Some people, just one person, you as an entity or you as a human being, you are precious. The community manager, you're precious, the public speaker, right? You're precious, the one who's trying to get a master's degree. You're precious, who is trying to be a delegate or who works in blockchain. So you're so many things as a person, right? You're also precious, who goes to church and who is a worker in church. Do you understand? So life is changing and there are several moving parts to life. And if you do not put yourself together to say, oh, I have things I want to achieve for myself, there will be so many things that will distract you from your own journey. Do you understand? People will come to you one day and they'll be like, oh, let's go, let's just jackpot or let's travel. But you know, maybe jackpot is not the right thing for you at the moment, but because you don't have like a focus or a direct way for you to like envision things for your own life, you can decide to like hop on it. And I've seen a lot of people do that, especially people who live in like Nigeria, right? And me too, I was almost a victim of that kind of mentality where you just wanted to like leave the country. You do not care. Like there was one time I was just applying to anything I saw, till I had a session with my mentor and she was like, you don't even have a goal for what you're doing and it doesn't make sense. So there's very clear important that you set the right goals so that you're able to see the right results that you need. So without clear goals, it's easy to chase the next shiny project without understanding how it relates to your personal journey. Yes, you need to be accountable to your goals, but who are you? Who is Elijah as an entity? Who is Elijah as a person? Who is, Peter is his own self. He does his own thing and he has his own goals for his personal life. He's not going to set goals like how Precious would. Do you understand? Our goals cannot be the same thing. Never. We are not even in the same stage of life. We don't have the same vision. We don't have the same mandate. If you're a believer in God, we don't have the same work ethics or the same thing we want to be as a human being. So you cannot be setting the same goal for yourself. You have to determine, okay, this is who I am, this is where I want to go, this is the point where I'm currently at, and this is the point where I want to be at the end of the year. Do you understand? A very clear goal which I set, judging from how dynamic life has been, is that I told myself that I wanted to get a UK Global Tech Talent Visa. And it wasn't just, oh, I want to get a UK Global Tech Talent Visa. It's because I have been, missing. There was a problem, first of all. Why am I setting this goal? There was an issue. Okay, I've not been able to like travel out of the country. I had opportunities to travel, but somehow because I didn't have like a higher visa, I wasn't able to like go for a global conference that related to my career. So there was an issue, right? And I was like, I'm not going to keep doing this. I need to get like another visa that like compensates for my work and also be able to get more opportunities, global opportunities. Since that I know that I want to be a global person, I don't want to be a local champion or something. So that is the problem. That is the goal. Now, if I'm to get global talent visa, it means that I have to do all the processes that is involved in getting a global talent visa. And I have the technician guide open here. I'm not going to go into details, but I just want to show you that there were some mandatory criteria that I needed to like fulfill. So I took actual steps to like read them up, write out the documents that I needed, and just got along with committing myself and my time to like write it. And at the end of the year, because I was being focused on it and I was not chasing every other thing, chasing, okay, I want to leave the country, then I've said it's global talent route I want to take. But I decided that, oh, I want to go through the schooling route. Then I said, oh, maybe I want to go through the marriage route. So why don't I marry somebody so that I can live? If I'm not focused, I wouldn't have been able to get one thing done. So there's a need for you to like life is dynamic and you can't be chasing everything, and you should learn to like focus on one thing at a time. So setting goals helps you take ownership of your career, of your life, of your relationship, whatever goal or aspect you want to, like, with even without a boss or a fixed office. So Adetola has said that at workplaces, there's always KPIs. There's a boss that's telling you to do this, do this, do this. There's a coach mentor that is handing you, and that's why you need to get accountability partners. Very good. But right, the thing about goal setting is that it sort of binds you. Like when you're looking at those targets, except you don't respect yourself. But if you're somebody who respects themselves, like you can speak to your own person, your own inner mind, and say, oh, this is what we're going to do as a body, as an entity, and you respect yourself, it binds you and it helps you take ownership of whatever you've decided that you're going to do for yourself. Let's say you want to buy a new car. You know that everybody loves themselves, right? Buying a new car is going to ease your stress of working. It's going to, give you prestige in society. It's going to help you move around. If you really respect yourself and you love yourself so much, you will take strategic steps to make sure that you get that car, right? Without a boss, without somebody coming to hand you down. Same way with, you want to get an MSc. If you decide that you want to get a master's degree, you know what the benefit and impact of whatever master's degree you're setting is going to add to your life. Of degree, whatever degree that you try to get is going to add to your life, right? So without a boss, without somebody coming to hand you, goal setting is that thing that like keeps you focused for you to like be able to like achieve what you need to achieve. Goal setting provides that structure, ensuring that you don't get lost in the mix of all the things that is happening in the world. I mean, there's a lot happening in Nigeria. There's a lot happening globally. So goal setting is that thing that you could, just look. And what I like to, another ideology I like to give is that, maybe I'll talk about it when I maintaining focus, right? Is that when you're trying to maintain focus, it's like driving a car, right? When you're driving a car, and except if you've ever been on Third Mainland Bridge before on a major highway, you don't look left, right. You don't keep shaking your head like this, like look left, look right. You focus so that you're able to get to your destination. If you're not focused, you can hit into a bridge or run somebody over. So you need to always face your front. You're not going from point A to point B looking at the car that is blue beside you. Of course you can see them because you need to be careful of other people, but not like focusing so much on how the driver is turning. You will be watching the driver and the driver will keep moving. And that's what most people are doing, even in modern day life, right? You keep watching people achieve the same results that you want for yourself. Or your point is to get to maybe Ajegule, but you've been watching somebody pass, you've been watching cars pass you all along. And I think that's what most people do. You go on social media, you view your doom scrolling, you take some intellectual properties of other people, you consume their knowledge, they create content, you enjoy it. But there's no you being the creator and other people consuming, right? And that's the same thing for every aspect of our life. Okay, someone bought a new house. That's very nice. So thank you for sharing this amazing news with us. When will it be your turn that we're going to congratulate you and say, oh, you made 1 million naira today? Why is it always, oh, I know somebody? There's this thing my friend used to say, is always, I know somebody. There's this thing people always say. So I know somebody that bought a house. I know somebody that bought 1 million, that had made 1 million naira. I know somebody who their job is paying 500K. I know someone, you always know someone. When will it be you? Right? That's because you've not respected yourself to stay focused and begin to hit those goals head on. So these are some of the reasons why you should, focus on your goals. And ignore this. This was really specific to Web3, but I'll just say it in case anybody's, looking to get into Web3 or tech. With so many projects in the Web3 space, this is just an example. It's essential to decide if you want to focus on building one thing. So this also relates to our life, right? You can have goals. You can set up goals for every part of your life. Why sometimes you might want to, prioritize some over the other, right? Like if you decide that you want to work out and you want to lose 10 kg, you might take working out more than sleeping more. Yes, you also want to rest, but you know that, oh, maybe if I sleep more, I might not have time to like work out. So people, just like I said, right? You're sleeping 12 hours a day. What time will you not have to we know that you're supposed to rest. Rest is part of your KPIs or your goals for this new year. You want to rest more. But you'll be resting. It will eat into your time for workout. So you need to stay focused, prioritize, and do what is needed, right? So goal setting allows you to have a sense of fulfillment, motivation, measurement. There's this thing, it's like running a marathon, right? You see how athletes they run a marathon or running a hurdle. When you climb through one hurdle, you have this sense of fulfillment that I've done something. Then you climb through the other, you climb through the other one, and you keep climbing till you get to the ending. There's always this sort of joy that comes from, oh, I did something today, and you're not feeling like a complete failure, or depression begins to like set in. Do you understand? I mean, when I got my global tech talent visa, nobody you do not need to explain the motivation or the kind of joy that I felt. It felt like I had won a lottery for myself, right? That's how achieving your goals, that's what it does to you as a person. You feel better and you're able to like tell another person or even guide another person. If you decide to like lose weight and you lose 10 kg, what I'm going to tell you is that you're going to pick up your journal or your friend, then you tell them, come, let me tell you how I was able to like lose 10 kg from not eating so much ever. You start telling people, right? So goal setting gives you motivation, right? And it allows you to like measure your impact over years, over a period of time. It allows you to like measure from, okay, in January, so what did we achieve? How many kgs do we lose? Did we lose 1 kg? Did we lose 2 kg? And it's able to like, because you're setting goals, you're able to like document whatever impact that you're able to put in. Now, I want to share a very important story with you. So during I review applications or review portfolios of people who want to apply for global talent visas, because you need to submit some documents, like about 10 pieces of documents, evidences, and all of that. So maybe because these are professionals, you have to be in tech for like a period of 3 years, 5 years before you can even apply for that visa, right? So it's very high profile. So I remember reviewing someone's portfolio and she had been in tech for a while. It's not like she's a popular person, she has been in tech. And I spoke to her and I'm like, so where are your achievements? Right? The impact and the metrics that you're bringing to the table. There was nothing. She has been in tech for a while, but there was nothing that we could measure, right, as actual impact for her work. That's because maybe when this person was working on this field, there wasn't like clear goals that was put in. They were just working on based on Ishala and vibes, even though they had a boss that they had to deliver projects for. There was not this actual goal that was set that say, okay, number of this or written or even measured anywhere. So when you don't measure things, you don't know how much you achieve. So one thing I always do, or I try to do every month, is that I write down small achievements. You see those achievements that you say, oh, it don't matter. It's not worth it, right? If you put it together over time, you're able to track how impactful your life has been or whatever it is that you've been working on has been. So let me explain something to you, giving you a very clear story. So ending of last year, or not even last year, around August, September, October, towards the ending, sure, I decided that I want to go into Web3 governance. So Web3 governance is a field in Web3 where you literally sit at the helm of affair, more like a governor or a legislator or something. What did they call those people that who did law here? Is it not legislator? Those people that make decision makers, or the judiciary, sorry. You become a judiciary, so you go through proposals, budget. Okay, this person say comes to the community and say they want to build a house for the community and it's going to benefit all of us. This is just logical, but in Web3 it's not usually house, it's usually something they want to start launch an educational program. So as the governance person, you look through the proposal, then you decide if it's important that this person gets a particular amount of funding that they are asking, why it should be supported, why it should go forward. That's like your job in governance. So I've tried to get into governance. Mind you, not a lot of Black people are in governance. In fact, in Web3 space, you can count the number of Black people who do actual governance, maybe not up to 3 in total Black community. That's in the Web3 space, right? So I'm like, this industry is so hard to like break in. But you see what I did in order to break in and the kind of goals that I set. Okay, I want to break into governance in 2024. In 2025, right? I want to be like a known figure in governance in 2025. So first things first I did was to attend a conference where I'll meet a lot of governance people, because I needed to like build connection with people who are in this field. Then took a lot of classes, took a lot of learnings because I didn't understand maybe so much of it. These are like my progress, right? Then I registered to be a delegate on some Web3 protocols or chains, right? And I documented the process. I kept on sharing my progresses on Twitter, right? The first time I got in as a delegate, I tweeted about it. So as delegates, they attribute tokens to your name, right? To get a particular share of tokens so that I can use it to make decisions on chain. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you, if it doesn't make sense, right? Just get the concept. So when I got my first 3 tokens, I went and tweeted and I'm like, yeah, I'm not a delegate. So I kept on tweeting till I got over 1,000 tokens, right? And the long story short is that from where I started from, this Sunday, I'm voting on my first set of proposals. I have 183 proposals that I need to look through to like be able to make decisions on. But the thing is, if I just had a thought in my head saying I want to be into governance and I didn't take actual steps to like get to where I am, I might not be able to, I will not be here making proposals that I need to submit tomorrow for people to get grants. And let me tell you, it's also beneficial to my career because that way I get paid additional money in governance and I also get recognition in that field. It's a field I want to advance in. So if imagine I didn't take step and I didn't track my progress, I didn't have the motivation, I didn't measure it, it would just be all fables. Or maybe I'll not even be able to tell you this story. Maybe I'll just say, oh, I just landed in governance. And I will not be able to guide the next set of people who are coming down that way into Web3 or trying to learn or get into governance. Do you understand? If that makes sense to you. So when you set a goal, let's say you set a goal to like learn a programming language, and you need to be able to say, I want to create my first smart contract probably in 3 months. Then track your progress with the sense of achievement. And it's okay that you reward yourself. Let's say you hit 10 kg, you lose 10 kg in this thing in weight, right? You might decide to buy yourself a new set of gym wears, right? Just to reward yourself, right? So that's how you like keep it interesting for yourself to be able to like keep going and meet your goals. Now, I'm currently working on landing a full-time job by the end of January. If I hit this goal that I have set for myself since last year, I'm buying myself a cake to celebrate. Yeah, and I'll take a picture. That's how I like reward myself for meeting my goals consistently. All right, let's get into it. So, goal setting is very empowering. It makes you feel audacious. Like now, I don't think there's anything I set my mind to do that I cannot do. You cannot tell me nada. That's how goal setting, setting goals and hitting it has made me become. Because once you set a major high goal, there's nothing anybody that will tell you. If I get into an Ivy League master's program, who are you to tell me if I can get into an Ivy League master program? There's nothing anybody will tell me about, landing a multi-million-dollar contract that will be, I'll just be like, I've done it before. I can repeat the same steps again that I did to get the next heights in. Do you understand? So setting goals is very empowering. It makes you start from very small space and you begin to believe in yourself to become a giant. Do you understand? The only reason why Elon Musk is building a spaceship, building Tesla, is because he has empowered himself with the right mindset to know that, oh, if he could do this, he could do that. And that's also with almost every famous person. They just have this go-getter mindset. And I'll give you a very interesting concept. If you're Nigerian, you will know Funke Akindele, right? So last year she launched what's the first movie? Not the A Tribe Called Judah. What did A Tribe Called Judah hit? If you'll be following her story, the gross income made from A Tribe Called Judah was 1 billion naira. 1 billion. So she released Everybody Launched Jennifer in December, right? And she's saying that they want to hit 5 billion naira. 5 billion, that's their target. You know why you can increase that kind of, she can feel empowered to like increase that kind of goal, even set that kind of goal? It's because she has done it before. So if you've not done something before, you'll not be able to set something that is big enough for yourself. Do you understand? But yeah, me, I cannot set goal that's I want to hit 5 billion naira. Me and her, we're not the same thing, right? I've not even hit 1 billion before. So let's don't get it twisted, right? But if you've done something before, you're able to like push for that to like, do something better. So goal setting is very, very empowering. So you should really tap into it. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about how to set smart goals. I know she touched a little bit about this. She already told you specific, you need to set goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. But let's get into the nitty gritty of what each of them mean. When somebody say this your goal is specific, what does it even mean? Specific means that you, as a human being, you are a species, all right? It has to be tailored to you. Don't say that you want to, you might, be able to take up some cues from people's life, right? Maybe say you want to be a public speaker like me, right? You might take up, oh, Precious, speaks like this. I want to be a public speaker like that. But there are some goals that are really specific to your life. It's you by yourself that know what you're working on, right? Let's say you press your phone too much and you know that you're pressing your phone too much and it's a habit. You want to cut down screen time. You decide how you're going to cut down the screen time, and if it's really specific to you. Not everybody presses their phone as much as I do, right? So the goals would definitely not be the same. So always know what works for you and what is really tailored for your career, your personal life, and set it accordingly. So what I will ask you to do now is write write down specific goals, right? And not goals that are vague. Try as much as possible to avoid vague goals. Vague goals are just random things. Oh, I want to go to church more. It's okay. Yes, we've heard you. Or you say, oh, I want to learn tech. Should you know that in tech, there is like 2001 courses and areas and niche. What part of tech? What exactly do you want to learn in tech? Because tech is so vague, it's so general, it's a generalist, it's an umbrella. Do you understand? Or you say, I want to get into school. School, okay. Which school? Which course? So you need to be specific. A very specific goal is, I want to study biochemistry in University of Ilori in 2024. That is very, very specific as to what you want to do. And that should be the way you write each and every one of your goal. That's your goal for maybe dating life, your goal for career. You need to write down maybe 5 things. And I think you should be writing it now. Write down 5 things you want to achieve in your career first. You could start small, right? You don't have to write all your goals at once. And there's this thing I want to say, right? There are some things that you said that you would do last year that you did not achieve, right? But now, because you are saying new year, new me, you will not throw away those goals that you had since last year that you did not achieve. That's not how you do things. You will go back to those goals or those things you wanted to achieve last year that you were unable to achieve. Then you bring them forward because you've not achieved them. They are still in your calendar. For instance, I wanted to get an EB1A visa last year. I wasn't able to achieve it. It's still part of my goal. It's because it's something I want to do in my lifetime. Do you understand? So I've brought it forward. You don't even need to tell me. I've brought it forward and I want to complete it before Q1. There's a new timeline, a new date for it. So if you wanted to do something last year, you were not able to do it, that should be the first thing on your new year goal, not the last thing. Bring it forward, put a new date to it, and make sure you achieve it in January. January is already ending. In Q1, before you start taking up new goals or writing new things that you want to achieve. So very specific. Also measurable. Bring out a tape rule. What is the duration? What is the time? What do you mean by how can we measure what you're working on? She's already told you, okay, this have KPI for a period of time, you get accountability partners and all of that. But ensure that your goal can be tracked. If it's not trackable, just like Adetola said, you count the pages of the book, then you read 1 page today, read 2 pages today. If you cannot track it, you're not doing it right. Do you understand? You need to go back to the drawing board. Let's say you want to lose 10 kg. You want to lose 10 kg weight. I don't know why I'm using 10 kg example so much, right? But the thing to do is you want to start walking 15 steps every day or start running for 15 minutes. And I'll give you something that is measurable, right? So I met this very interesting girl on IG and she said she wants to start running 15 minutes every day. And she has been running from January, every day in January for now, and she has been taking it off her calendar. That is a very measurable goal that she's doing in her life, right? And it's a challenge that most of us have decided to follow her on. Last week I said I was going to follow her, and I don't know her, she doesn't know me, but I've been inspired by her goal and it's something I want to achieve, right? So I decided that I'm going to also try to run for 15 minutes every day. But then I discovered that that's her goal and she can actually meet it. Me, I cannot meet that, right? I can't run for 15 minutes. I was out of breath on that 15 minutes, just 15-minute run. That's when I noticed that I was very lazy, right? So maybe I could start doing 10 minutes work and all of that. So, but the thing that I want to say is make sure that it's measurable. There should be a metric and a way for you to like tick off things, measure the amount of days. You can use a tally system, you can use a calendar. Do you understand? Whatever it is you want to use, you can use Notion. Get yourself a Notion board. Get yourself on Notion to be able to tick off things. And I'll show you guys maybe what Notion looks like in case you don't have Notion. You can design a planner, a to-do list in there. You can do a lot of templates there. And you can also buy some already made Notion templates. There's a lot of people that have a lot of goal setting templates out there. Buy one and use it and be able to set goals like how they are setting theirs, right? So a very clear example is I will complete a Solidity tutorial every week for the next six weeks. So every week you need to know that you complete a tutorial for the next 6 weeks. So there's a duration, there's time, there's numbers in it. So something that is, if it's not measurable, there won't be numbers in it, right? Also make sure that your goal is attainable. Let's talk about it again, bringing back the Funke Akindele analogy. Funke Akindele can decide that she wants to hit 5 billion in sales. But if I decide that I want to hit 5 billion in sales, and by the way, I sell consultation sessions, right? Where people pay to like book my consultation session of a Islamic duration to speak to me and get more insight into their career, even book global talent, right? If I say I want to sell 5 billion from consultation, do you know that I would have set a very stupid, unattainable goal because I'm taking off Funke Akindele? It's not, I cannot do it. Why? It's not like I cannot do it, but I don't think I can do it now. It's not attainable for me because I don't have the capacity to even do that amount of consultation sessions. Do you understand? It's going to drain me out. It's going to burn me. So set things that are realistic goals that match your current abilities and resources. And I know that Adela touched on this. You said you want to read every day, but you know that there's Lagos traffic, there's 24 hours you need to spend at work. So how realistic can you be? And to be honest, people often mistake what consistency is, right? So people say consistency is showing up every day, right? But that's not what consistency is in the high side, right? Consistency is showing up based on your capacity. Do you understand? So if it's 3 times every day, you can do every week you can do something. As long as you're doing it, you're being consistent while at it. If it's once every week, you can afford to read. You're being consistent every week. You're being consistent at it. But you now determine, okay, will it give me so much result if I read my books once every week because I have an exam to write? You now know that no, this thing doesn't work. But you're consistent though. You're consistent. You read every week, right? Once every week. But does it give you so much result and impact? Maybe no. Then you maybe need to increase the consistency level. So you need to look for what is really attainable for you based on where you are. It's just like someone coming to me now and saying you don't have any background in tech, you've never done tech before, then come to me. And people do that though. You come to me and say you want to apply for UK Global Tech Talent Visa. That's your goal. I'll send you back. But if you decide to go and apply and you try your luck, the UK Home Office will be the one to write your rejection and tell you that this your goal that you set for yourself cannot be attained. And you will not like the English that they will speak for you because you would have wasted your resources, wasted your money to achieve a goal that you know that in your career and your sphere of life, it is unattainable. So I don't do things that I know that I'm not going to achieve it or even hit a near successful. Down to me applying for jobs. If I see a role and I see a job, I know there's this thing they say, oh, put yourself out there, apply for it. Yeah, I give my shot to some things, but there are some things I see and I just leave it. And then I know that it's not for me. I'm not on C-suite level or that kind of level for me to be applying for this kind of roles. Do you understand? I might need to work harder and level up before I can now come back and apply to it. So don't waste your effort trying to go for things that you know that you will not achieve. It's not making any sense. It's penny wise, pound foolish. All right. So, how relevant is your goal? Make sure that your goal is relevant. Align your goals with your larger purpose and interest. So, if I say, okay, a very clear example is I started out my tech career in 2015, right? And what did I do in my tech career? I said that I'll volunteer, I'll speak at events, right? I would try to learn how to code. I'll try to learn how to do design. I would, write every day on my Facebook. These are all the steps I necessarily took to just be an active person in tech. But there was a, I don't even know whether there was a bigger picture. I was just being consistent, just doing the tech things I know how to do, right? And the consistency paid off because in the bigger picture, I'm the one who now has a UK global tech talent and you don't. Do you understand? So the thing is, how relevant is your goal in the long run? This thing that you're working towards, is it going to still be important to your career in 5 years to come, in 10 years to come? Will your body thank you for sleeping every day, or will it thank you for getting up every day to do workout? How relevant and is it? Will your savings, your consistency and the goal that you put to like build wealth, will it thank you for saving every day? Maybe you saved up to the extent that you bought a property, right? Because today I was listening to one woman give us a story of how they came to the UK, they bought their first property. You see, years down the line, she's a real estate agent, and there's a trajectory of how relevant her first buying a home and saving towards owning a home was important to where she is 40 years after. So if you know that you're going to, and it's okay that you set goals and it doesn't work now, you pivot later. Yeah, it all works together for good. But if you know that it's not going to be clearly relevant to wherever you want to go, probably in the next 1 year, say, or even by the end of December, disembark and focus on what is more important. Do you understand? So, for example, learning smart contract development allows with my goal of becoming a Web3 developer. Let's say you want to be a developer, you learn particular skills. Like me, I want to be a global talent. I started early to like learn digital marketing, do all of those things as far back as 2015. I studied computer science in school. Since 2015, took up so everything worked together to who I am today. Let's be really honest with ourselves. Also, time bound, time bound, time bound. You know how this call that we are having cannot last for 3 days. Do you understand? That's also the way you need to imagine that we're having this session for like 3 days. We can't do it. We can decide to like do it for 3 days, but some of us will be bored. Do you understand? Some of us will need to go and grab food to eat. So make sure that whatever you're doing, there is a period of time that you get to like complete. Let's have fruition. You cannot be working on this one thing for like 5 years. I understand if it's a very bulky project. That's why I was also talking about long-term goals and short-term goals, right? But we need to have something from whatever it is that you've been setting goals for, you'll be working towards. Like me, I have a goal to like get a job at the end of January. That's a goal. If it's not time bound and I'm working towards getting a job from now, I'm just working towards getting a job. That's the goal. The thing is that I'll be homeless one day. I'll not be able to pay my rent because I didn't set a goal that include for me a sense of urgency and for it to be time bound, right? So walk through, complete a solidity course, set deadline with a clear sense of urgency and prepare and prevent procrastination. So that the thing is that most young people, one thing I've noticed with young people is that there's no sense of urgency to things. It's as if nobody's pursuing you to like stand up. People used to say, oh, poverty is the opposition. That's for people that want to make money very quick. But some people are even so relaxed, even in poverty. I've not seen people that are broke, they don't have anything to eat, but you're so relaxed that, oh, we're going to hope something is going to come. But I want you this year, do as if they are pursuing you because you don't have time. You don't have time. How old are you? 26? How old are you? 27? You don't have time. Very soon you'll be 30. Even if you're 21, you do not have time. Time waits for nobody. Do you understand? There was a guy who was already a programmer at 16 years old. How many years down the line, this guy is more successful? Do you understand? So there's nobody's waiting for you to like decide where you want to write your code, decide where you want to go and work out. No, there's no time for you to do all those things. So have a sense of urgency and prevent any form of procrastination. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it today. Oh, I'll do this. Stop it. Respect yourself and be able to do what you have to do when you need to do it. If you say you're going to complete this task, imagine they were paying you money for that thing that you have decided not to do. You'll be sacked a long time ago. That's the same way you need to take yourself seriously and stop procrastinating. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about setting both short-term goals and long-term goals. Now, what are long-term goals? What are short-term goals? And what are the importance of both of them? So short-term goals are about immediate actions you can take now, while long-term goals are the ones, you We imagined earlier where we want to be in the next 50 years. We provide you vision, direction for your future, right? Just like that woman that I said that 40 years down the line, she's still a real estate agent, but it started from somewhere, right? Short-term goals help you gain quick wins, while long-term goals keep you focused for the big picture. Quick wins is, okay, you wrote your first line of code today. Yay! Long-term goals is that you become a top IT consultant in a multinational, right? But if you don't write your first line of code today, you will never get to point B. That's the thing, right? So short-term goals focus on actionable quick wins that can be accomplished within a short time frame. So see, the thing is, there's this thing called the lazy people's rule to getting things done. The thing is, accept that you're lazy. Don't argue. You know yourself. Accept that, oh, Precious cannot do this. You cannot. You saying you want to set goal, you now say, oh, every week I'm going to stand up and shoot content for my social media page. Who are you that you stand up every day and you shoot content for your social media page? So accept that you're lazy and decide what you can do. If it's one content you can shoot every day, you do it. Do you understand? So if you say you want to maybe start attending events, you will not say that, oh, you want to attend 10 events in one day. You'll be burnt out. You can decide to like maybe do two events, maybe show up for two conferences, two meetings in one month. Do you understand? That's how you set small goals. So, and the best way to do things is to set very small minute tasks. So I always have this thing that I have a to-do list every day of what I want to achieve, right? And you don't try to like do a lot of things in one day. Just do the very small one that you can do and hope that you achieve results. Do you understand me? So long-term goals are where your vision for what you want to be, launch your own company. You want to grow your own company, grow your own business. You want to be the one speaking to other people like this. So you have to like, these are your long-term goals, what you're working towards. Some of my long-term goals is to maybe buy a house in the next 2 years or even 1 year. It might be faster in the UK. I'm just giving you some example, right? Some of my long-term goals is to probably do maybe a PhD at somewhere, but I have to do like masters before PhD and all of that. Do you understand? Some of my long-term goals is to be a C-suite CMO for a high-level company, so I can ask me for recommendation letters and I'll be able to give you freely. It's to also maybe build my own marketing firm. So you see that these are things I hope to achieve in the long run, but they're not happening like today or tomorrow. So balancing the two, use short-term goals to maintain momentum. So short-term goals is what keeps you going every day. It's what you know you have to do. Like my short-term goals or what I have for tomorrow now is I need to review applications for the proposal that I told you guys are working on. I need to go back to Discord, and Discord is the community that I manage. That is work. I need to be able to work out a little bit more, take a work. I need to budget and be able to buy food for the house. Do you understand? So budgeting and saving money, right? So break down long-term goals into smaller actionable steps. So if I start budgeting right today, I will know how to invest a lot of money that will help me buy a house in the UK next year. But if I don't start budgeting well today, I'll not know how much to even save. So these are small goals. The small goals is probably maybe save £1,000, maybe save £500, maybe save £50. These are the small goals that you keep together to like help you, how they say little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. Is very evident even as you set short-term goals and long-term goals, right? So launch, very clear examples. There's a lot of examples inside. So just know how to balance both of them. Now let's talk about productivity, right? I was supposed to end this here, but let's talk about productivity and productivity tools and app. Now, you can be busy, right? Very, very busy, but you can be busy doing nothing. That's the thing. So let's take a very clear scenario. You see a child, a toddler, right? There's a water in a bowl. And it's another water in a bowl. So the child takes a scooping bowl, a smaller bowl, goes to this bucket that has water, and starts scooping that water and walks a very long distance to the other side that has an empty bucket and keeps filling it. So what the toddler is doing is, you go to this side, you take water, you fill the empty bucket, and you keep doing that for like hours, 5 hours. The child is going back and forth, taking water here and putting water here. Is the child busy or not busy? The child is what? Busy, very, very busy. But is the child productive? That's a futile exercise that does not yield any results, just a waste of time. Do you understand? So you can be very busy running helter skelter, doing a lot of things. And when we check everything that you've walked around and all the noise you've been making, there is no logical impact or anything to determine the productivity that you've put into your work. Do you understand? So focus on things that are actually productive, both for your career, for your life. What's the result? Do you understand? What is the result and the impact of whatever it is that you're working on? And that's why productivity apps are like a necessity, right? You know, you can be very busy doom scrolling on social media. You're on a Proco Doctors page. From there, you go to Naira Land. From there, you do this thing. From there, you get on Twitter space chat. You've been very productive with your time for like 15 hours a day. But where is the result? What exactly did you achieve? So if you're not achieving anything logical with your time, means that you're doing it wrongly. Get the notion board, write your goals, and the best way to do it is make sure you're ticking things off. If you're not taking anything that is really important, it just means that you've been productive doing the wrong thing. And God forbid that you're productive doing the wrong thing in 2025. So check it, check your time, check what you're giving your time to, and make sure that whatever it is that you're working on, you know, it works right. And I think this particular application, Tomato Planner, I don't know, Tomato, it's a platform that allows you Tomato Timer. So it allows you to do there's this thing they call the how did they call it? Yeah, Pomodoro timer, right? It's an online Pomodoro timer. It allows you to complete tasks under 25 seconds or 25 minutes. So because they know that you need 25 minutes to like be able to complete a task. So when you log your tasks into this thing, it allows you to like set a custom time for you to achieve your tasks. Do you understand? Allows you to take short break, long break. So just go through it. It's a technique that allows you to like set out tasks. Step one, record your progress, work for 25 minutes or 1 minute, take a step, take a short break, back to work. So it just helps you track whatever it is that you're doing. Do you understand? And you need to like be able to find. So I'm sharing all the product things that helps you get productive. She has already told you about accountability, but the thing is, you need a community of people who are doing the same thing that you do. Yeah, you can have your friend, and she also mentioned that you need to join a group who you are accountable to, but you need to get a community, right, of people that that you can stay accountable to, right? And the other thing you also probably need to get is, what do they call it? A peer mentor, right? That's what I want to say. A peer mentor. So the thing is, most people want to reach out to people who are already up there or higher than them, but you need to get people who are on the same level as you are, who you guys can say, oh, we are doing this and we are getting it done. So one girl shared something on Twitter where she and her friends, they're in an accountability group. There's a hot seat of you to be able to achieve your goals for the year. They are friends with you, but they will grill you every Sunday. I think they have every Sunday. It's more like a hot seat. So you present your own tasks, and if you're not achieving what they or the metrics that they put and they are supposed to achieve, they remove you from it. And they don't care if you're their friend or you're not their friend after that, but they remove you from the group. Yeah, you guys can be friends, they'll still talk to you, but you're removed from that accountability circle. So you need like a strong pair of peer mentorship group, something like that helps you like achieve your goal. Download the Notion board and create you know a goal setting board for yourself or a task. So this is Notion. I use Notion for everything. Because I'm a community manager, I cannot do without Notion. I must write down all my ideas somewhere. So if there's no way you're documenting your ideas, you have issues with remembering what you even wrote down. Also, take a lot of notes. There's this thing about young people. We have a lot of things to like say to ourselves. So one thing I noticed that when I was growing up at my younger age, I was a spontaneous person, right? With a lot, busting with a lot of creativity and ideas. I want to do this. I want to draw. I want to paint. I have ideas almost all the time. But the thing is, you don't, you don't work with being spontaneous. You need structure, right? You need structure in your life. You cannot just be spontaneous, saying everything from your head. Oh, today let's buy a bag. Oh, what if we convert this? It's going to give us XXO amount. Where is the structure? Structure is basically like a step-by-step process of how you've taken to like be able to achieve a particular task, right? Companies strive on structure. Do you understand? If you go into a very good corporate organization that's organized, they have a step-by-step process as to what everything can be, how everything should be done. Life is a routine, right? It's rigid. Some people's company structure is very, very rigid, and that's how you should put your life together. So people have alarm for everything, alarm for prayer, alarm for workout. That they are building structure that way. They don't just want to be anything goes. And you see those kind of people, they are disciplined, they are accountable, right? And they set the right goals and they hit it. So build a structure around whatever it is that you're doing. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if there's anything that I've left out, but if there's anything I've left out, I think we can discuss in the chat. Ask me a question, let me answer. Adetola said a lot, and we've also said a lot. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Hope you guys have listened to this point. I'll stop sharing my screen now so that we can maybe talk in the chat.
Thank you so much, Precious. Thank you so much, Precious. Please, if you're around, just help me say thank you to Precious in the chat section. Just help me say thank you so much to Precious in the chat section. Also, if you do have a question, please leave your question in the chat, and we'll address it to her just before she leaves us today. So, Precious, thank you so much for everything you shared and for the tools you shared on productivity. It seems like Notion is is one of your go-to
Yes,
one of your
so I was
go-to
trying to share my
tools.
Notion board. Yeah, it is. It really is. I mean, I write
Yeah,
everything
if
on
you can,
Notion. Right, like the thing
that'll be
about
really
this
nice.
life is write everything on Notion. Make a Notion board. If you can't use Notion, use Google Sheets, Google Docs. But just make sure that you're writing. That's the thing. Well, if you're not writing, you'll forget. What does the Bible say? Write the vision, make it plain. If you don't write it down, how will you even know that you were supposed to like do this in so time, right?
Yeah,
And don't just write
so
it and forget it and dump it somewhere, because one thing to write, then you dump it somewhere. But use it like everybody has a Notion board. I mean, can you guys see my screen?
let me share it 1 second. Yeah, so this is our Notion board.
So this is my Notion board. Don't look at this. This is like a fun idea that I decided to like write on. So I tell you, I write about everything, right? What are we going to do with this? What is down to the what is the content plan? This is just a fun idea. This is like launching a company or a project. So you just write about it, right? Then Notion, the thing I want to show you that Notion has a lot of templates for you, even down to planning a holiday. So why are you not using the app, right? So this is like, you want to just journal. You could search more templates. I think there's a place where you search templates. So this is everything
Yeah,
Notion
your
that I
template
use. This is Notion
down
for
just
both my work,
under settings.
right? Yeah. This is both my work and all of that thing. So you can, this is just for my work. Sorry. There's a lot of work things going on here. But yeah, you said all that settings, right? Where are the templates?
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was templates. I think that's something else.
No, the templates are usually here.
That
Templates are
okay.
usually somewhere here. Let me just search for it. Think so.
Maybe if you did. Okay. It's been a
Okay.
while I use Notion, but it's a very solid app. Okay, these are the templates, yeah?
So there's a template for like even down to saving money. You want to budget, a travel planner, you want to have a personal mood board. There's templates. So you can just use this for your use it, make it simple, don't make it bulky, right? So this is your template for all the things you want to do, right? Just use this template in case you want to save money, in case you want to, just maybe write your new job. There's also a sales in case relating to work. So whatever it is you want to do, there is a Notion template already available for you that you just need to dig into and use to start planning. Let's say goal setting. Let's see if we have anything on goal setting. So it's 2025 goal setting. People have already done a lot of templates for you that you can just use. So you just need to like preview it just like how we are going to preview this one. So these are the yearly goals. Replace it with what you want. I want to go to an international trip. I want to propose. Just write. How we've set smart goals now. Make sure they're specific. Then have monthly goals, which are going to be like your short-term goals. Do you understand? So you have goals for January. You can even do it weekly. Goals for week 1, week 2. And the thing is, you just need to come and tick it off, right? So you can, take these templates and rework it to what is more interesting for yourself.
Hmm.
Do you get? So
Interesting.
just use Notion, find what works for you, tweak it to it's editable, to be honest. Everything here is like editable. So just find it, use it. If you're a student, there's something for you. So use it to your whole advantage. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. And I also wanted to ask, can I remove your board right now, or you still need to share
Yeah, yeah,
something?
you can. Let me stop sharing. You
Okay.
can remove.
So so productivity often feels like a buzzword, right? Everybody's saying productivity, productivity. How do
Mm.
you and considering that in this age and time we do, please, if you have your questions, please put it on the chat so I can send the questions to her. So how does, and considering that we do like so many things at the same time, how does one define true productivity right now? I know you said we should like check off things, but someone can be checking off things that are not really relevant to them. So how do we define true productivity like right now in this time and age of this fast-paced world? I don't know if you get my
Okay.
question.
Yeah, I get your question. Fast-paced world, time and age. How do you do things that are very relevant to you, right? So let's go back to some of the things I explained. I want to get an EB1 visa this year, right? But I need a job before the end of January. Which one do you think is this is a fast-paced world? Which one do you think is more present to me now?
Fast job now. Job, I
A
guess.
job, because I'm in the UK. You cannot really be jobless in the UK, right? EB1 visa is another visa requirement that allows me to like enter the US. I'm already in the UK. I could decide to like freestyle it from now till like next year. No, I'm not going to push it that long, God forbid.
Of course.
Right, right. But the thing is, you need to focus on what is really pressing at the moment. And someone asked me a question in my class yesterday. So I want to learn tech, but I have another job that's outside of tech and that pays me money. But tech is not paying me now. But I need the skills needed in tech in the long run. What do I do? You know what I said? You don't remove the thing that is giving you rice. This thing they say you need to have rice at home, right? Rice means
Yeah.
that you need to keep a source of livelihood that keeps you going
First.
first before you decide to like learn a tech skills. It's like students that come to UK. The UK gives you 20 hours to like work, and most of the time the jobs that are available is care or menial jobs. We let us say, oh, I want to learn tech skills. I'm going to be using my own 20 hours to like be learning tech skills, even though I have school to do. Because I want to work in Monga Singal once I graduate from the university. Yes, yes, that's a very good idea. But you know what? Hunger will kill you before you decide to work in Monga Singal, because what you've decided not to set realistic goals that is important to you, to where you are now. And even though it's a fast-paced world, the thing is there are some goals that are very, very pressing and they cannot wait. Some others can wait. Hunger will not wait. House rent will not wait. So you need to like focus on things that are like very pressing, life and death. Then for the other goals, you can take your time to gradually fix it. It's not like you're not going to give attention to it, but there are some things that you prioritize over the other. Like if getting married is your priority, prioritize getting married over maybe even getting a master's degree. Do you understand? Because that is what's really important to you. Some people want to get a master's degree, which is good, but I want to get married now, like now, because I don't have time for it. So I might rather use the money that I have to go and pay bride price for someone's head and then save up for my master's later. When we are two, we can think better, depending on how what makes it logical for you as a human being. Do you understand? For me, that might not be logical for me because I'm more about advancing well. Marriage will come later. Do you understand? Or building a family will come later. But people are different, and there's some things that are very pressing to them. But the thing is, whatever you choose to spend on, make sure that it's sensible. You might say, oh, you need to triple your investments, and then you put all your money into crypto. Yes, you need to triple your investment, but you just made the very wrongest decision that will keep you in more debt and penury. Because what if you lose all your money in crypto? Yes, so that's basically like it. Did that like answer the question?
Yeah, yeah, it does, it does, it does. So we just need to focus on what is pressing and important, not
Yeah,
just
and also
important, something important, but they're not pressing.
time management is key, to be honest. There's no how you can spread yourself into seven places if you don't manage time effectively. Also, another key point is that time is never enough. Time is never enough. Time is never enough. 24 hours is what you everybody gets 24 hours. If you're in Russia, you have 24 hours. No matter, maybe your own time is starting now, right? Your next day, probably in your next day already. It's still 24 hours that you have. Elon Musk has 24 hours. President Trump has 24 hours. What you decide to do with your 24 hours is now up to you. And the thing I usually say is, if Elon Musk can have 24 hours and he does all those multiple things and still has time to yap on Twitter, how much more you, who is a normal human being that does, you're not even the CEO of any company, right? So
True, true, true.
you got 24 hours, move. Like I see some people say, I'm a medical student, I'm a content creator, I do a business. So it's because they can able to manage time and they're not cracking under pressure. I mean, today alone, I had to attend a conference which I sat through at, right? Then when I came back, as I was talking to you, and this is that I have not eaten and I needed to like make food. I made egusi soup before joining this call, right? So there is no time. So you need to like manage the little time that you have. And after this call, I need to like review those applications for tomorrow and make sure that I sent in the proposals that I have pending. Tomorrow I need to be in church. So there's no time. So you're like on a clock. So if you don't manage time so well, you lose out on a lot of things in this life. So that's just it.
Thank you so much, thank you so much. I also I think this should be the last question. I don't see any more questions here. And the question is, so how does one, um, okay, two questions first. We're talking about like setting goals that are like urgent and important, right? Focusing on those goals. But now, of course, we have long-term goals, like you said, long-term goals and short-term goals. And sometimes these two do not necessarily coincide. Let me use the word, right? Because of, for instance, you want to pay rent right now, or you want to get a job right now, and you also have or like your friend who says he has something that's giving them food now, but they also want to learn something else, right? So of course you have to focus on this right now. But how do you focus on the short-term goals without losing sight of the long-term goals, especially when they are not really aligned per se?
They're not really aligned. Oh, especially when
Yeah.
they are not really aligned.
Right. Yes. So for instance, now I'm working. Okay, let's say I have a job I'm doing just to put food on the table right now, but that's
Mm,
not part of my long-term goal. I need to do something different for my long-term goal, right?
okay.
But I'm just doing something now just to survive. It's the situation of many people in Russia, for instance, because
Yeah.
in Russia you have to do like menial jobs and some of these things, but you also have long-term goals, and you still have school
Mm,
and you still have some other things. So how do you manage your energy in such a way that
yeah.
your short-term goals, you don't lose sight of your long-term goals? I think that's the question I want to ask.
Okay. A very clear example is my housemate. I'm reading my voice, right? Okay, so my housemate, right? So they are students. They came in as students, but as graduates, you're not able to get the right job that you need. So you need to like do care, same as maybe what you're talking about in Russia, right? But you know that
Mm,
is your goal is to be a software engineer. I feel like
mhm.
there needs to be a timeline as to when you stop doing that job. You should have been able to make more money, get the right skills, and then pivot to what is your long term goals. Do you understand?
Okay.
You need to tell yourself that, okay, oh, this is my short term goal. I'm going to do it from now till February, right? Or from now to
Mm,
February next year. Then I'm done with that phase of my life and I will not do that again. And let me explain it to you, right? It's like it's like being in a long distance relationship. The goal of a relationship is to get married, but now you're in a long distance relationship. Will you say, oh, we're in a long distance relationship? When does it end? If you're going to be in a long distance relationship, part of your goals is to have a timeline as to when the relationship is going to end or stop existing as a long distance relationship. Same as that, menial job that you're currently on now. When does it end? Maybe after I get my full time job. So my job should be okay, as I'm a student, I need to work this hours. And after my graduation, I need to be able to land the full-time job. That should be what you're focusing on. It has to have a timeline where you're no longer doing those many jobs, and you work towards making sure that it ends at that time that you said that it will end, and it does not exceed that time. I know things can happen, it might not just happen at that time, but it's having that clear goal that okay, this is when I want to stop doing this, right? It should be like always division from the get-go. A very clear example is my housemate. He wants to pivot into tech. So what has he done? He's still working in care, right, at the moment, but he has decided that he wants to get another job that allows him time to like learn tech very well, and he understands it well to the point where he will not quit his job and now focus on getting a tech career job. So he has already like a plan in motion, and he knows when it's going to like end, right, so that he can move into the next row. And I think that's also with people who are working towards getting permanent residency in a country. You know how people, it's so tough trying to get permanent residency. So people rough everything. They go through all the things, all the stress. Once most people get their ILR, that's indefinite leave to remain in this country, you know what they do? They resign from their
Mm-mm.
job first and they take a vacation to rest from all the stress of all the backlog of stress, of taking all those care job, cleaning job, security job. They want to rest it off first because they've achieved their lifelong goals. They've just hit it like that. But imagine that they said to themselves, "Oh, it's not going to ever end," and they continue in that circle. Even the government, they already, if you're going working towards permanent residency, they know when it's going to end for you. There's a timeline to it. I mean, you know that, oh, it's only for 5 years, it's only for 3 years. So you work towards it and you make sure that you're out of there as of when you need to be out of it. Right. And I think that's what you should do. Work towards what you need to work towards. Hustle all your hustle during your time, because there will be a time when it has to end, because you're not going to be feeding your children based off of those menial jobs. Imagine being 30s, have a family of three, but you're still working the same jobs that you want to work on the same salary that you were using as a student. How is the society going to look at you? How are your parents going to look at you? They'll be like, even the wife you want to bring into that condition will be like, is something not right to this person, right? So there has to be anything that has a beginning should probably have like a timeline where it should be time bound. Do you understand? Where it should
Yes.
like elapse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really, really important. Really important. Thank you. And then the last question for today. And let's ask two questions, but let's just leave that and answer the last one. Is this from Anita? It says, how do you handle trying to be as productive as you want to without being overwhelmed or burnt out? It can be
Or
really
burnt out.
hard.
Okay.
Yes.
The thing is,
Yeah.
Anita, decide what works for you. Maybe because you've not decided what works for you. See, one thing about me is that, so I saw someone said that no matter how tired she is and she starts working in the afternoon, she's going to take a power nap for 10 to 20 minutes to rest her head. So if you like talk from now to tomorrow, she's going to take her power nap. Not everybody takes a power nap in the afternoon, right? So you decide what
Mm-hmm.
works for you so that you're not overwhelmed. Because if you're overwhelmed, you're not able to like function right. Right? Me, I can stay up and at night, through the night, and nothing will happen to me. Another person cannot do it. And one thing about me that people also don't know is, oh, you stay up at night too much. But once I have a headache or I start sensing that I'm stressed, I will leave whatever it is, close my laptop and sleep. And nobody will kill me. I'll continue tomorrow. Do you understand? So
Mm-hmm.
remember that you are the product, right? You need to be
Mm-hmm.
maintained as well. And without you, no goal can be achieved. So your health has to be intact. Your mental health has to be intact. Your brain has to function right. You have to eat the right food. You have to take care of you. You have to take a cold shower. You have to do your beauty maintenance. Whatever makes you feel good, you have to do it so that you're not overwhelmed. We're not saying, oh, like chase your goals and become tacky. There has to be like a personal time for you where you're not doing anything and you're just resting So try to position it always. So that's why that Pomodoro timer, this tomato timer, allows you to like take rest in between, allows you time to like take a break, allows you to like take a long break like 30 minutes, take a short break for like 10 minutes. So you're resting, you're not feeling too overwhelmed. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
If
Makes
that
sense.
makes, yeah, if that makes so much sense.
Yes, thank you so much, Precious. Thank you so much, Precious. And then also, where I think that's the last question we have for today, so I can let you go. I know you have so much to do. Please, where can we find you on social media?
I'm on
Is there something?
IG, I'm on TikTok. So I did create
Okay.
a whole IG page. I am trying to take my content creation game. I used to be on Facebook, right? But I left that. I left this whole Facebook community for people that yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I left the yeah. No, I know Peter, you're still on Facebook, right? But I used to be on Facebook as far back as 2014, 2015. I used to be in Head Start Africa. I'd be shouting and making noise. But I also see that Facebook people, the naivety is too much on that application. People are too
Yeah.
naive, right? So I decided to go where people maybe think alike like me, so that I can feed off from their energy and their creativity too. So I'm on Instagram and on TikTok, and I'm more active on Twitter. Twitter because of work, tech, Web3. The Web3 community and the tech community is on X and Twitter. So if you want to get into tech, make sure that you're on Twitter. There's no other place to be. So Instagram because I like to document my lifestyle. I do a lot of reels. I shoot a lot of reels content and all of that. What else?
Okay.
I shoot. I document my experiences. So I traveled. I travel a lot. Traveled to 5 countries last year. I'm going to travel to more countries this year. So I try to share travel, lifestyle, getting into
Mm,
tech, and all of that.
interesting.
And on TikTok, yeah, TikTok, I just
So, are you
document as many
are you
conversations.
Precious Ezema on all channels, or so? So
It's
there, what?
okay, so on Instagram, it's the Easy Man. I think on TikTok too, it's also the Easy Man. So I'm just going to
Okay.
type it in the chat. So just find it's like a hyphen. Sorry, the Ezema,
Okay.
EZE. Just my surname, the Ezema, right? So it's like two dots. So this is the handle for both IG and TikTok.
Okay.
IG and TikTok. Then sorry, LinkedIn and with Twitter, Precious Ezema or Ezema Precious. Yeah, so you could just find me. Or if you type Rashidi Blessed on X, you can also find me.
Okay. So this is the SMA is for TikTok and Instagram, right? This
Yeah, yes.
for TikTok and Instagram, and also
Rashidi Blessed, sorry. It's the Blessed, is a 2S. The LinkedIn is same as just search Precious Ezema on LinkedIn. You'll find me. I'm not so hard
okay.
to find. Not so many people have Ezema name, so it's quite unique.
Okay. So Presh the best
Yeah, it's
is
like the
double
Twitter. It's double
double S,
S.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just put it here for them. So in case you want to reach her, please you can reach out on any of these channels. Follow her work. Um, if you have questions, I think they can ask you on those channels at least,
Yeah,
and
you can
just
also book a consultation.
have a
I do have consultation
consultation. So
sessions. So.
she has a consultation session too. Yes, she has consultation sessions too. If you need, she does like proper consultation sessions, 1 hour, 2 hours. Do you do up to 2 hours, ma'am? Or just one
I
hour?
do I do like 1 hour, but it's always after a
I get
consultation session, you can always reach out again after
okay
you've
based
taken
on
steps. Yeah.
okay, so you can. She has a consultation session. You just reach out. She'll give you her rate. Then, if you need a consultation session, if you need talent visa, UK talent visa applications, or you need anything about relating to tech, maybe you're trying to carve your career path or something like that. She's the go-to person for it. You can reach out to her. She'll give you her rate, book a consultation session, and it's not so pricey. It's affordable for especially for young tech people who are coming up. It's very affordable. So reach out to her, book a consultation session, and I want to say the Lord bless you, but you're already blessed. So you're going to have a very amazing time with her. Thank you so much, Precious. Truly appreciate you. Appreciate your time. I know you just came back from
Yeah.
work and everything. Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
Peter. This was such a good session. Thank you for organizing.
Thank you. So we're going to have the recordings are not going to be available to the general public. who did not attend, but for people who attended, you're going to get the recordings. And also, we're going to share. We're going to create like highlights and reels to share to people who um, who missed out. So we'll pepper them for not coming, pepper them for not coming and what they missed. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Truly should appreciate it. Thank you, Precious.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Precious.
you.
I
Bye.
can let you now. Please say bye to Precious, everyone.
Bye. Bye, everybody. See ya. Have a lovely evening. So I'm going to exit the studio now. Bye.
All right, you too. Bye. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to Level Up 2025. We are going to call it an evening. For the things I promised you, you're going to get everything. You're going to get everything in your emails. If you don't get my email, just send me a private message. For those who have my details, send me a private message. You're going to get what I promised you, the worksheets, access to the recordings for this, access to the ChatGPT masterclass. You're going to get everything. If you don't get in your email, just shoot me a personal message and I'll make sure that I send everything to you. So thank you so much for Level Up 2025. We also have an event coming up on February. It's the Soft Skills Summit. We're going to be teaching public speaking. We're also going to be teaching how to use Microsoft Suite tools. So if you attended this event, it's free for you and you're going to have full access to that. So thank you so much, everyone. And I hope 2025 is your best year yet. So thank you so much and do have a lovely, lovely 2025. Bye, everyone. See you next time. Bye.